Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging on myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my. I just can't stop thinking about you. All that I crave when you're away, nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make. It's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like okay. You never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay here all day. You're the reason I can't get out of my head. I just can't stop thinking about you. 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 Grandest to everyone. Those that are peeking in the back, not speaking, and to Kevin, grandest brother. Yes, we are about to get into some information. Please try and stay tuned because this will be on members only after today. So let's get right into it. I'm about to drop some real jewels. Now, I keep thinking about you guys. I said I wasn't doing another live until the new year, but when doing that, it's kind of easy to say that when I'm in my emotions and sensitivity, but I have to stick to business, right? I cannot fray away from the facts or truth or the things that are important, right? So I wanted to bring this up. A lot of times we're hearing people say, hey, how did these people get control? Like, when did it start? When did they decide that they were going to have the control and we were going to just hand over our government? Because we did have governments, right? You guys believe that, right? You should know that. If not, we're going to get into it and prove to you, right? There was a government. There was a plot and a plan with a friendship, starting with the friendship to occur, common decency between the people, and make your way in. Like how you have that person that you start a relationship with sometimes, and they're so great in the beginning, and then the next thing you know, you start seeing the true them. You start seeing like who their real persona is, right? People pretend to be one thing and actually be something else a lot of times, unfortunately. So let's get into it. Due to the English words, I'm not sure if it's going to read correctly. We'll try. It does get a little annoying, but if so, I will read. I am still having some issues right now. I believe I'll be able to get through it though. So let's try.
The preface. J. Copy of the following treaty, printed at Philadelphia, JL Delphia in 1743, having fallen into my J. 2ds, upon perusal J. I judged its contents.
Nope, it ain't gonna work. I definitely can't do that. It's just like so off. Grandest, Sharice, grandest, sis. Peace, peace, peace. Hope you guys enjoyed your family time, your family day. You guys know it's been harvest season since the so-called Thanksgiving. This is the time of harvest that will mean harvesting relationships, opening the minds of your family, so on and so forth. These things are important, right? Dealing with this so-called Christmas, right? The Merry Christmas. I want to make sure you guys understand. I'm not going to get into this because I said I wouldn't. I've done videos on the Christmas song. Just so you guys understand, keeping in mind the Merry Christmas is Merry Christ Mass. It's a Merry Christ Mass. Let me put it in the chat. I don't know if I need to speak on it real quick, but Merry Christ Mass, a mass of the true Christ. This is what most of these pagan things are. A mass of the true Christ, which is the Christos, the crystalline beings, massing the Christos beings, right? Man, y'all need to go check out that Metatronic H video. I just reposted it on my community tab so you can get a clear understanding of that. I definitely want to stay on topic. I just wanted to make sure that I came to you guys today with this information. All right, let's get started. It says a copy of the following treaty that was printed in Philadelphia, 1743. Having fallen into the hands upon peripheral, I judged its contents deserved to be more generally known. Its contents deserved to be more generally known than probably would have been from the few copies which might be sent over. To make it more instructive and entertaining, I had once thought of prefixing on ancient of the customs and manners of these people, the customs and manners of these peoples, such as one as I could collect either from the printed relations concerning them or from such materials as the correspondence or the acquaintance. The correspondence or acquaintance would have afforded, right? But the accurate description drawn up and published by the Memorial William Penn deterred me from attempting a short one. The memorial that was published by William Penn. If you guys haven't had a chance, you should go to my community tab. I have the letters from William Penn. Get an understanding of what was written. And this is saying in memorial of that, but it deterred him from attempting a short one. And the ingenious gentleman of New York would probably soon oblige the world with a large and curious history of the Five Nations, exceeding anything in my power to perform. But let's go on. I'll read the footnote. It says the history of the Five Nations from the earliest acquaintance of the Europeans. The history of the Five Nations from the earliest acquaintance of the Europeans with them to the Treaty of Ryswick by C. Colden, a manuscript ready for the press in the hands of the worthy gentleman of London. But that the reader might have some idea of the people, I thought it necessary to subjoin the following succinct account of the principles in this particular confederacy, their tributaries, their dependents, and their allies. This is important, guys. This is going to be so revealing, right? It's going to break down everything that people are asking. So please pay close attention. And the more so, as it is neither extinct in print nor is this taken notice of so fully in the manuscript history that was mentioned above, right? So there's a manuscript of this information, and some of the information they have deciphered, and this person is taking it for its full edification and all of the documentation and creating the construct from there. It says that it was communicated by a gentleman. Hold on, guys. Let me sip some of this tea. Telling you. Okay, it says it is communicated by the gentleman of good understanding and probability, one who is very well skilled in the Indian affairs, adopted into one of their tribes. Listen, he was adopted into one of their tribes. This is important. It is communicated that he was adopted into one of their tribes. Keeping in mind, I've shown you guys many times about these Indian agents. This is going to show you, he's going to go in through the confessional of how they actually were adopted into the tribe. They just spoke on it, right? It is of their counsel and their constant interpreter at the Philadelphia treaties to a friend of his, to a friend. We're going to get into this friend thing, right? I have another document that's going to be very revealing on these friends. The friend of his who sent this to his correspondence here. They have generally been still the been titled the Five Nations of Indians bordering upon Pennsylvania and New York. But since the arrival of the Tuscarora Indians from Carolina, they are called the Six Nations. They were always the Five Nations. What made them the Six Nations is the addition of their Tuscarora Indians from Carolina. We know the Tuscarora Indians from Carolina are what? The true aboriginals, right? Keeping that in mind. They are called the Six Nations, going from the Five Nations to the Six Nations. An account of whom is follows. We're going to break this down, right? So let me check on my chat in case anyone's come in. Okay, great. I see people are coming in, no one's speaking. So, I always have these eyes that's peeking, trying to get a good drop. And then they won't even say anything. It's just so rude to y'all. And then go drop it on somewhere else. It's so funny. Okay, the Tonkamos or the Mohawks. Listen, the Mohawks, the first promoter of the Confederacy. The Mohawks, the first promoter of the Confederacy. He is titled in the Council of all the nations. He is titled in the Council of all the nations. DeCare Hogan and the president or the eldest, the president. Oh, wait a minute. You mean to tell me the Indians had a president? You mean to tell me that the chief, the king was a president because he was the eldest? Grandest Bay, peace. Because he was the eldest, right? Right? Because he was the eldest. It says the president or the eldest. You guys hearing that? Right? Okay. Let's go. Let's read the footnote before finishing that. In the customary among them to make a complete of neutralization or naturalization into the Five Nations, to make a complete of naturalization into the Five Nations, and considering how highly they value themselves above all others. Ain't that just like an Indian? Consider themselves more valuable above all others. It must be accounted no small one, right? No small one. I had this compliment from one of their old sachems. I've talked to you guys about the sachems that they hold a few months ago. I actually showed you guys some of the information, some very private. I did not disclose, but you guys remember looking at the sachems, right? Or the sachems, which he did by giving me his own name, He had been a notable warrior, and he told me that now I had a right to assume to myself all the acts of valor he had performed. The Indian, they always title a whole nation in the singular number. An entire nation is one. The entire nation in the singular number as one, right? Now let's get into two. The Aniutes or the Anandors were the first that joined the Confederacy with the Mohawks. Okay, now we see who the second culprits were, right? They decided to join the Mohawks. The Mohawks started the Confederacy and they said, hey, we're going to join the Mohawks, right? So they put themselves under their protection. They needed the protection in order to be strong. You know, you have to be stronger in numbers. You know how we hear you have strength in numbers, being stronger in numbers. Grandest Randy, peace, brother, peace, peace, peace and love. You have to be stronger in numbers, right? Okay. He calls the Mohawk his fathers. To pay attention, guys. We're listening to the call of what stands as far as their roles, right? They said that the Mohawk is his father. So the Mohawk, after adopting the Mohawks in, they are the father, which means they are the head of the nation, right? Bringing them in, they made them the head. Why? Because if you guys remember when we read about the Mohawks, it said they were a savage tribe, right? What it said about the Mohawks didn't play. They did not play. As soon as it was time for war, they was ready. Let's go. We about to tear something up. They was big, they was strong. They were like one of the tribes that was definitely known as being like very powerful, strong in numbers, strong in their physical capabilities, things of that nature. So now, once being adopted into the Confederacy, they were considered the father tribe, right? Now, and in return, he is called a son. The Mohawk used him for his ambassador to the other nations. So they used him as the ambassador to the other nations. In council, he is titled Niharanto. I know I'm not saying this right. I'm gonna do my best, guys. Niharantaquo, or the Great Tree, entitled the Great Tree. We hear about these big trees that have the strength and the virtuousness of the nations, right? The Onondagas were the next that joined, and their own accord became Confederates. So now we have the third tribe, which were the Onondagas, right? And they are therefore called called by the Mohawks their brothers. So they looked at them as being on the same playing field. They're their brothers, and by the Oniders, the fathers, also the fathers, because they had not been forced into the alliance as the Oniders were. So if they weren't forced into the alliance, they were considered the fathers because why? They had their own mind. They had their own thinking. Oh, we don't want to join you guys. We're going to stand on our own. We got this. You know, we good. That type of thing, right? He is called in council. Oh gosh, I know I'm going to mess this word up because especially with the mispronunciation of these letters. The Saga Casa Na Getterant. The Saga Casa Na Getterant. Also known as the arms or the names bearer. Oh, the names bearer. So he was known as the names bearer, that they were the ones that bared the names, giving names to the tribes, right? And accustoming it with the lands and the nations and so on and so forth, right? The Geniantoans or the Senecers next join into the alliance, the Senecas, all right, or their own consent, of their own consent, of their own consent. They are titled by the Mohawks and the Onondagas brothers and by the Oniders fathers. His title in council is Anak Ka Aradaya. Anak Ka Aradawa. While signification is not known, the deal on Hakara opened doors for friends and enemy. These are the ones that started allowing the friends and enemies in, right? The dia on Haraka. They are also the ones that open the doors for the friends and families. We're going to get into this friends and families thing in just a minute. It's going to get real important. All right. The Kukaskalls, the last of the Five Nations alliance, being compelled thereto by the rest of his brothers to the Oneidas and the son to the others, is stilled in the council Guanana Wan Tawano, or the Great Pipe. The Great Pipe. We read about the Great Pipe before, guys. Remember when we were reading the indigenous legend stories, right? Tuscaroras joined the alliance about 30 years ago, being compelled thereto by the English of Carolina. The who of Carolina? The English of Carolina. You mean the Carolinas consisted of the Englishmen? Now, mind you, this is before the meetings of the Pink Man. right? They weren't even around. They're telling you the council and the government of the 6 nations, right? And they said here, right here, that the Tuscaroras in the alliance about 30 years ago compared thereto by the English of Carolina. They were the English. I told you guys all of these areas being part of the 6 nations going into the Seneca nations. The Seneca nations were the English. It printed out just like they said. I don't know why I didn't correct that, but it doesn't matter. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. I ain't gonna keep doing all this typing. Okay, I'm gonna read it one more time. The Tuscaroras joined the alliance about 30 years ago. The Tuscarora Carolina Indians. The Tuscarora Carolina Indians were English Indians out of Carolina. I hope you guys can understand. I keep telling y'all. Okay. A tree is their most frequent emblem of peace. A tree. To plant a tree whose top may reach to the sun and its branches may extend over the whole country is a phrase for a lasting covenant of peace. The great pipe or calumet of the Indians resembles the olive branch of antiquity, right? Always a badge of peace. It's funny how they took that olive branch of antiquity and they used it in the Christ Mass, right? In the true Christ Mass, changing or converting, the converting of the people, right? Changing them over, the antiquity of the olive branch, right? And the tree, thinking about the tree. Remember, we had trees that literally touched the sky. It talks about in the Bible, the tree. These are the records, remember? I know you guys have, when you hear the Bible, you get into these things about religion, but the Bible is our history book, right? It was converted at the New Testament, yes, to insert a story of a new bloodline, but we know the true lines because if you're connected and you're in tune, you know exactly what's going on. You can't be fooled by the trickery, right? Just like thinking that the Seneca Indians were not English. Oh, English. Okay, let's get to it. Carolina, he is brother to the Oniders and the Cariocos, and son to the others. Has no title in council, but is frequently called a fool. So they were just the goofies. These goofies, we just had them do something, you know what I'm saying? They were the goofies, you know. They didn't have a title that was distinguishable for anything noble. They were called a fool. The dependents and the tributaries of these particular nations, let's get into that. The Mohicans, who formerly lived in the Hudson River and in New England, they have been, but it was New England. I thought they named it New England, mocking what was going on in the states of Europe, right? But how could that be? If they have an England, which is the area that the Carolina Indians went to build with the nations, and then they have a New England that was already there, and they said that this was before they even came or arrived here. How would they have these names, right? They have been conquered by the 5 nations. Their breechcloth, listen to this, guys. This is gonna get deep. They said they bitch them. Let's talk about it, y'all. Oh my gosh. Their breechcloth taken from them. Listen to this, and a petticoat put on them. Their breechcloth taken from them, and a petticoat put on them. Listen to this, guys. They're gonna break this down because this part get crazy. Hold on. Let me put this in the chat for y'all. Yes, their breechcloth taken from them and a petticoat put on them. Y'all listen to this. When they apply to their conquerors, listen, when they apply to their conquerors, once they've been conquered, a breechcloth is taken from them and a petticoat put on them. Listen to this. They humbly call themselves women. Listen to this. Listen to this. They humbly call themselves women, guys. The 5 nations call them by the same name when they speak severely to them. They call them by the same name when they speak severely to them. At other times, they call them cousins. They cousins, but then they still call them a woman because they what? They got pimped. Listen, and they are in return called uncles. They call them uncle, even if they calling them a woman, right? Putting a whole persona on them, demasculizing them, right? Demasculizing them. Words are very important. Yes, yes, very important. Thanks for coming in. I think this is my first time seeing you. Welcome to the channel. Okay, very important. Now check this out. Now, the Delawares are in the same condition as the Mohicans. Listen, they're in the same condition. They were dealt with in the same manner, and they are tributary in an Indian sense, very tributary. So they were demasculinized as well, right? The Shawnees are brethren to the Six Nation. The Shawnees are brethren to the Six Nation. They'll say the Shawnee, but remember, it's the Shawnees. But are not in the Confederacy. They weren't part of the Confederacy, but they were brethren, all the same brethren. They're coming from the Spanish dominions. They were of the Spanish dominions. We're going to be looking at the ones that were also the Melungeons. When you're thinking about the ones from the Spanish regions, these are the Melungeons from the Appalachians, right? When the Spanish came and they conquered them, they were in that area taking over the Appalachian Mountains. It is remembered by many now living. It's remembered by many now living, right? All the nations around them have many years entirely submitted to them, the five nations, and pay a yearly tribute to the Wampag. The five nations pay a yearly tribute to the Wampangs. They dare neither make war nor peace. Listen, they dare neither to make war nor peace without the consent of the Mohawks. Because what? They were fighting each other. Makes no sense. All these uncles and fathers and cousins and, just so disrespectful. I always want to fight. Someone's got to have the control and the rule. We can't just do this together. I got to be the one, right? Two old men commonly go about every year or two to receive this tribute. And I have had opportunity to observe with anxiety the poor Indians were under, whilst the two old men remained in the part of the country where I was. An old Mohawk sachem in the poor blanket and a dirty shirt may be seen, this is so blurred out, ensuing his orders with an absolute authority as a Roman dictator or a king of France. The five nations gave them lands. Listen. The five nations gave them lands on the west brand of the Susquehanna and therefore claim a superiority over them. They gave them. The five nations gave the lands on the west branch to the Susquehanna and therefore claim a superiority over them. We're ruling you. Okay. Now we're going to claim a rule over you. This is how they start making rule, right? Trying to claim a ruling over them because listen, hey, we put you in this place and so on and so forth. These are the things that were happening and that they were showing. Grandis says, peace to you, babe. And they were showing these people, right? How to take the lands. They didn't know this because, when they start making friends with people, you don't think your friend gonna betray you, right? You think that your friend has your back. You think that if your friend has an issue, they'll come to you and you try and clear it up and so on and so forth. But no, they couldn't be trusted. They could not be trusted, right? Let's keep moving. For which they want to keep them, they want to keep the rule over them. That's what's funny. They got to keep them in an area. Let's keep you over here. We don't keep you down. We gonna keep you minimized, right? We don't want you to grow. We don't want you to be bigger than we are. We don't need that, right? Because if you go to be bigger than we are, that might take our power away. So, you have to demise something that you have fear of the strength in it, because when you're doing that, it allows the person to be able to gain that strength. So this is what they were doing. They were pushing them over and saying, listen, now we're ruling you because we put you in a certain area. We put you in this land. This is the land that you came in to be a part of what we got going on. Even if you don't want to be a part of our Confederacy, if we give you some land over here, y'all got to be up under our rule. So we think we got a superiority over you, even though they didn't. Mind you, this was all in their mind. This is what they thought. They tried to, but they could not have the superior ruling over them. That's totally impossible, right? For which the Shawnees mortally hate them. So the Shawnees mortally hate them because they always act like they was better. So that's something that went down through the lines. It's like it's a continued hate. Oh my gosh, the sun just came out. It was being hidden for the last 30 minutes or so. It just like bam. I mean, it just like blew out like crazy, y'all. I almost want to take a break so I can go out there and get some. I might in a minute, guys, because it is beautiful today. And it is a pure bright sun. I could tell just by looking through the window. Okay, anyway. The greatest part of them, right, a few years ago, went to settle on the Ohio River, which is a branch of the Mississippi and hills with the west branch of the Susquehanna. One tribe of them is quite gone down in New Spain. There are a few left still in Wyoming on the west branch of the Susquehanna, and others have a large town on an island in the west branch about 50 miles above the fort. They are the most restless and the mischievous of all the Indians. The most restless and mischievous. The Conestoga, the Conestoga Indians have been all destroyed by the Five Nations. They killed off the whole tribe. They weren't destroyed by the pink people. They were destroyed by the Five Nations because they wouldn't comply. They wouldn't comply. They wouldn't, they didn't go by their rules. They wanted to have, do what they were doing. We got our own thing. We got our tribe over here. Y'all do y'all thing. Let us, honor our shit the way we want to do it. But they said no. They didn't want to comply and, be up under them because they felt they were superior to everyone. They had been ruling over certain areas for so long. So since they had that superiority, they wanted to rule the people. So this is how they start this governance, right? You understand the governance and how it came into play. We're going to get into it. It's about to get real deep, y'all. This ain't even nothing yet. Except a few when the Oneidas adopted. Listen, except a few when the Oneidas adopted. They adopted. Oh, they were adopting these tribes into the nation, right? Including the Friends, right? Listen, when these had forgot their language, they were sent back to Conestoga. They were sent back to Conestoga when they forgot their language, where a few are now left and speak the Oneidas language. So once they lost their language, they said, okay, you guys are losing your language. We're going to send you back to your area so you can, get accustomed back to that, so on and so forth. Even when they want the rule, they still wanted them to keep their language, some of their customs, so on and so forth, right? All right. The Nanticooks are in alliance. Listen, the Nanticooks are in alliance with the Six Nations and not tributary, acknowledging themselves to be sheltered by their wings. They live within the borders of Maryland and few about Conestoga, and some have settled this spring at the mouth of the river Skohuniati or Janiati, which is a creek that falls into the Susquehanna from the west beyond the mountains. Oh, this is why I need root word for talking about these creeks and going into these mountains, having an understanding of where our people were and following the water, right? The waterways. Okay. Tutolos originally lived in Virginia. There are but few of them. They settled this spring at Shamokin on the east side of Susquehanna, just below the forks, and are entirely devoted to the Six Nations. Oh, they was under their thumb. They was like, oh yeah, we listening, boss. we got you. They failed. They was like, we ain't about to they ain't finna exterminate our tribe. We just gonna join them. We gonna be a part of them. Right? Be a part of all this. It says the several nations of Indians with whom the Six Nations or the Iroquois are in alliance with. Listen, several nations. The several nations of Indians. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is important to understand. Several nations. The several nations of Indians. Let me change this so you guys can see because the words aren't right. Several nations. All right. What else they got misspelled in here? Of the Six Nations. Let me correct this. I don't know why it's come. It is. I gotta correct everyone. The Iroquois. Okay. OUIS are in alliance. Okay. Yes, the several nations of Indians with whom the 6 nations of Iroquois are in alliance. They in alliance. Trying to get it together. Trying to get it together. Okay. Let's get back to it. Y'all ain't heard nothing yet. According to the information given Conrad Weiser, Esquire, in open council at the Turpehawken, at their return from the treaty in Philadelphia in July of 1742. Here we go, guys. It's about to get into it. A nation of Indians living in the west side of the Lake Erie and along the straits of the Huron Lake, they are called the Iroquois, right? The Iroquois are all the nations from the west side of Lake Erie and along the straits of the Huron Lake. The Yonic Keliakian, Lord, these names, see, us being out of our native tongue, it's so hard for us to pronounce these things correctly. And it should flow very easily, with the pronunciation, but the words, the misspellings, all this is done intentionally. Just speaking these names of our ancestors, just think about that. If you don't know how to call the correct name of your nation, your tribe, speaking it or manifesting the energy or the power from these nations, right? We can't draw that power from these ancestors because they don't hear you. Literally, it's not on. It's the frequency ain't even there. This is real. That y'all might not even understand the depth of the spiritualness of this, right? Being able to pronounce this name and call on energies from a tribe of people. These things are important whether people understand it or not. But that's important. That's why your tongue was taken from you. Not being able to produce powerful words of manifestation. Y'all got to go back on some videos to get some more information on that. I can't think of titles, but like literally, I've gone through all this before. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. The Unicaliacon. The Unicaliacon. Oh, there you go. The Unicaliacon. I like that. That's how it sounds to me. Right? And it says they are consisting of about 30 towns, each of about 200 men fighting. 30 towns with 200 men fighting. Talking about some Indians, right? Talking about them real Indians, right? The second nation lives among the preceding called, why did they blank it? Look, they didn't want y'all to see. What did I just say? I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, why did they block this out? I said, it makes no sense that they actually took this out. Why did they take their name out? This is therefore proving. This is where I was thinking this yesterday. I said, wow, they removed this one. This must have been a very powerful nation, a very strong energy that they held, right? For them to take this name out of this book. Look, it's literally drawn out. Even with his story, they took the name out. They wouldn't publish it with the name in it. He had to put a line in it. You see this? Anyway, let's read it again. The second nation lives among the proceedings of the called we don't know nation, consisting of 4 towns of their own people, and 400 able men in all. The third nation called by the Iroquois, the Tse, this is a Tshisaguch. I don't even know how to pronounce it. The Tshisagak, the Tshisagak, the Chishagak, the Chisagak. That's the best way I can do it. The Chisaga. The Ranoa, right? The Rono. They live on the east side of the Huron Lake. Several of the council have been there. They have been there and all agree that they have 3 large towns of 600 and 800 and 1,000 able men. Dang, that's a lot of Indians. And these just a few tribes they're talking about, right? Let's keep moving. The fourth, called the Twitwis Rona. 2 large towns, they say large towns, about 200 men in all, live at the head of the Hakiki River near the Little Lakes. Here we go. The Askiakikas living on a branch of Ohio that heads near Lake Erie. 4 large towns of about 1,000 warriors. The Achatawa Rona near Black River, consisting of 4 towns and 1,000 warriors. The Kiatawahan, Rona, upon the great river Mississippi. Oh, let's talk about the Delta. I said I was going to do a build on that, and I end up forgetting, guys. Oh my gosh, we were talking about the Delta, and some people were in the chat. We were talking about Mississippi and the plots of lands that were set out, right? And they were discussing in the chat because I said, yeah, my grandma, she had the gold teeth, and one of her teeth had a star on it. It had the 5-pointed star on it. We were like, what did that go back to? You know, when people hear about that 5-pointed star, they think it go back to the Eastern Stars, right? Who are the original Eastern Stars? We're not talking about masonry. We're talking about the original Eastern Stars. I'm still going to do the build on this because I think this is important. I don't want to get into it too much in this build. But just so you guys are understanding, going back to the Mississippi being the one of the areas, all of that area, Mississippi, Georgia, all these areas, these being the heads of the towns right at the time. The Mississippi Delta. This is why a lot of your ancestors, I'm pretty sure, put a 1 in the chat if you had a grandmother or a great grandmother that had the gold tooth that had the star on it. That's because they were honoring their ancestors of Mississippi, the Delta, the 5-point star for the Mississippi Delta. Man, that gets so deep, y'all. Even that's been taken from y'all, put into some masonry and oh man. Let's keep it moving. I don't want to change the subject. Above the mouth of the Ohio, 3 towns, the number of people uncertain. The Caragah, Rona, several savage nations. Now listen, this is going to talk about these cannibals. We're about to get into it. See why they were fighting, and some of them they just didn't deal with because of the certain things they did. I'm sorry, let me check with the chat just in case. Okay, nobody's come in. Just want to make sure I don't want to miss anyone. Yes, it's heavy. Listen, come man, don't take me there because listen, I was gonna go into it. I had y'all don't even know how many times I want to do a live on something. I get distracted, something else happened. I got to do this. There's other stuff I'm doing bills on, and I get distracted. But I'm definitely gonna get into that with you for you guys one day because it's so important. Oh my gosh, y'all don't even know. All right, let's go. The Caragol, Rona, several savage nations. Somebody might want to go do a build on it. I know somebody in the cut listening. If y'all want to do a build on it, please do. You know, I'll tap in. I'll definitely jump in the chat. You know, I don't have no weirdness with nobody. So if you want to do a build on it before I get to it, because there's so many builds I got to do, that's just one of them. But if anyone wants to look at the connection of the Mississippi Delta, the Mississippi and the Delta, look at, and then thinking about the gold, representing the gold and the Mississippi Delta. I'm gonna drop that. You gotta do some more research for yourself. But if anyone want to drop it, please do. I'll tap right in. I love this, guys. I love this. Hold on, let me take some tea. Let's talk about who the savages was. Now, when they were talking about them Indian savages, our own people was calling them savages because they was the savages. This is why. Check it out. There were several savage nations, as their names signify. Their names signify the savage nation, the people of the wilderness. Who were they? They live on the north side of the Hudson's Lake. They neither plant corn, they don't plant corn, nor anything else. They neither plant corn nor anything else. Listen to this, guys. But they live all together upon flesh, filth, roots, and herbs. An infinite number of people. Of late, they become alliance to the Iroquois. Y'all see this? These savage, these are savages. When they try to say all the Indians was we wasn't all savages. Our people labeled certain people savages. That's why they kept them out in the woods. That's why they kept them away from y'all. Better not come out the wilderness because somebody gonna get it. They knew not to come out the wilderness. That's why they stayed there. They were savages. They didn't plant corn. They didn't plant nothing else. It said nor anything else. They didn't plant corn. Neither did they plant corn nor anything else. But they lived all together upon the flesh. What did I just tell you guys? A lot of these people were some of the ones that were the savages, and some of these were the mixed tribes in the Appalachian Mountains area that started and came from the invasion of the Spanish, right? I'm going to read that again. People of the wilderness live on the north side of the Huron Lake. They neither plant corn nor any tangible thing, but they live together, all together upon flesh and upon filth, Oh, I'm sorry. That's not filth. I'm sorry, guys. Upon flesh and fish. They did eat fish. Upon flesh and fish, roots and herbs, an infinite number of people of late, they became alliances to the Iroquois. Those were the savage nations, right? Y'all familiar? Oh, I want to see if anyone. I see one. Randy said yes. He has a ancestor that has that star gold too. Come on, y'all. I'm gonna get to that one day. Oh, two. See, okay. My grandmother had a star, and y'all listen. I don't even want to tell y'all about how that ties in. Here's another hint for whoever want to jump on this or pounce on this story. That ties into the original Hebrew nation. Y'all don't even want to hear about it. Oh my, y'all! I'm gonna have to do a part two to this other video on this before y'all even really can see that. It's not gonna even be on just that. That'll be entailed. But yeah. Peace and Bliss Tour says Peace and Bliss Tour. Yes, yes. Oh man, y'all, it get deep, y'all. Get deep right here. Y'all don't even know the treachery that these people done put on y'all mind. Y'all don't even understand, man. I don't want to make it sound pseudo. I'm just telling the truth, y'all. The information speaks for its damn self. You can't hide the truth. You cannot. Let's get back into it. The Six Nations, because I got so much I want to show y'all, it's crazy. The Six Nations, as was observed, and I'm going to try to make this less than 3 hours at the most. I'm almost at an hour already. I got to stop talking this much, but I definitely want you guys to hear certain things. Let's try and get through this. The Six Nations, as was observed above, border upon the province of Pennsylvania and New York, and rest, which are mentioned as their dependents and their allies. Remember, they adopted some of them. Those are their dependents now because they were adopted. They lied near the French settlements, some amidst and some beyond them. The wisdom of the chiefs in the Confederacy had gained them no less reputation than their courage, which indeed has struck terror into the remote Indian nation. Oh, I don't even know how I did that, guys. Hold on a second. What the heck? Okay. North side of Huron, live together. Okay, hold on. All right. They were their dependents and allies. They lied near the French settlements. The wisdom of the chiefs of the Confederacy both gained them no less reputation than their courage, which indeed has struck terror into the remote Indian nations of the North America and forced them to court the friendship. Listen to this. Forced them to court the friendship and protection of such formidable power. Wait till we get to this next document and y'all see these friendships. We talked about this. I put in my chat. Lady Grandis says, I put in the chat. Come on, sis. Come on. There go yet another. She popped in with it like, yeah. Y'all. I swear, I know I be talking junk about people, getting the information, not giving me a shout out or anything when they take my information, regurgitating it, so on and so forth. It's not my information. Let me correct myself. Taking the information that I've put together to display, and acting like they put the studies in and just, never give a shout out. Anything. I don't believe that's ego. I think it's just more amount of respect. But I promise you guys, I promise, y'all hear me on the live. If anybody want to do that live, y'all can do it because there's so much information. It's going to be a very long video. If somebody else do it, then I can come back and finish it off with the stuff they don't do. Give me a little help with that. So can I ask the community for a little help with that? If not, I'm still going to do it, guys. It's just going to take me time because there's so many other things a little more important I got to get to. But yeah. All right, let's go. Okay. And it forced them to court the friendship and protection of such a formidable power. The modernization and the equity of the first proprietor of Pennsylvania gained the absolute confidence and the affection of this brave people. Listen, they gained the confidence and the affection of these brave people. They were convinced of his tenderness for them. And in return, they have erected him lasting monuments. Listen. I'm going to start this over. They were convinced of his tenderness for them, his love for them. Oh, the friend loves us. Oh, we got these friends. Yeah. that stab you right in the back. Listen what they say. their tenderness for them, and in return, they have erected him lasting monuments, all these monuments, in their grateful hearts. Oh, they're so grateful. They revere this good man's memory, and his priest will, and his praises will only cease with the nations themselves. Just giving them all kind of praises. Oh, this lovely friend is coming to take our damn nation. They just didn't know. Just so foolish and so just so ignorant. Want to have all the control. We want to have all the control. They don't want to listen to us. They don't want to look at us like we the what did they call them? I want to say the right thing. Hold on. They don't want to look at us like we have seniority over them. They said something else, but that's what they're talking about. They didn't want to have the people to rule over them and follow behind them and govern in their mind and all that. Remember, they just said that. So because of this, now they want to get these friends so they can have these friends on their side because they so loving and kind. Okay, listen to this. The following clauses from the collection of charters and printed in Philadelphia 1740 are amongst many other strong proofs of the proprietor's equitable regards of these people. That no man, says he, shall by any ways or means in word or deed, listen to this, that no man, says he shall by any ways or means in deed or in word or deed affront or wrong any Indian, but he shall incur the same penalty. Hold on. I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. This is an important statement. Right? Let me see. The misspelled. Yes, a whole bunch of it. Oh, goodness. Hold on a sec. I think it says utmost. Wrong. I swear y'all don't know. And everybody reading these English words sometimes, it's like crazy to me. Okay, to affront him. Okay. They cannot affront an Indian in any way, or he shall. You gonna get it. You can't say nothing to an Indian. They got the hierarchy of rulership over the land. So no man can confront any Indian. This is important. I want you guys to understand this. Hold on a second. All right. I'm having issues with these words. I got to respell and I want to keep holding on. Okay, come on. Affront or wrong any Indian, but he shall incur the same penalty of the law, right? Law as if he had committed it against his fellow planter. And if any Indian shall abuse the word or deed, any planter of his province, the planter being in his province, allowing them to come in and do labor, servitude, listen, that he shall not be his own judge upon the Indian, but he shall make his complaint to the governor of the province, or his lieutenant or deputy, or some inferior magistrate near him. So if you got a problem with one of these Indians and what they're doing, you can't say nothing to them Indians. Don't say nothing to the Indians. You better come back to somebody in charge, somebody in the province, one of the governors, the lieutenants, a deputy or something, so that they can address it. Y'all can't say nothing to the Indians because y'all just hear, y'all planners. Y'all just hear laborers. Y'all just working. Do not confront these people that's allowing us to sit on this land and work our way into their power. Y'all want to just be as kind as possible. We don't want no problem with them because see, you got to get the bees with the honey. We can't be nasty. We got to do everything out of love and kindness and smiling in their face. See, this is how they got to play it. So you can't go to them. Y'all got to come to us so we can address these things. Pay attention. Who shall to the utmost of his power take care of the king of the said Indian. The king of the said Indian. Oh, you mean the Indians had kings? They weren't just called chiefs. We read earlier they were called presidents. The elder was the president. It said the president was the elder, right? Now we hear that the king was over the nation of the Indians because they had to go to their king with the issues. So the planner had to go to the governor of the province of the sanction that they had, right? Or he would have to go to his lieutenant or the deputy, right? And then he'd say, hey, this is my issue that I'm having with this Indian. They mistreat me. They ain't paying me fair, whatever the issue was going on, right? Once they go to them, then they would come in turn and speak to the king of the Indian, of that said Indian, the king. How many times have we read just to make sure we're affirming this? If people don't understand the kings and queens of this land, and they have taken your heritage and your ancestry, we ain't gonna get too much into it because I don't went over too many times, too many videos, too much information, pseudo or not, whatever y'all want to call it, it's the truth, right? Care with the king of the said Indian that all reasonable satisfaction be made to the said injured planter. But he had to go through the king. You can't say none to that Indian. You got to go to the king, let the king take care of it. That all differences, listen, all differences between planters and the natives shall also be ended by 12 men. That is, by 6 planters and 6 nations. Here we go with this friendship. That so we may live friendly together. Y'all hear this? We're going to have 6 Indians and 6 of these freaking paleface that we brought in so that they can concur in the land. And we're going to put them together so that they can have this great friendship, right? Y'all getting it? I hope y'all getting this. Peace, Batista. Brandon says, yeah, it's insane. Ain't it insane? Brouhaha. I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Brouhaha. It's insane, right? Yeah, and then it worked out real different for him. Same as the French and the Hawaiian Islands. Same thing. Nothing different. Okay? As much as as us lived, right? Preventing all occasions of heart burnings and mischief. Heart burnings and mischief. A conduct related by such principles of love and justice, could not fail to influence this discerning people. It couldn't fail to influence the discerning people. Just food, being kind-hearted. Oh, they're so kind. We're going to be loving to them as well. We're going to extend our hearts and everything that we have, our lands, and we got so much. It's so plentiful. We got so much. We can just extend it to everybody. So y'all, come on, right? And to bias them in favor of the English, right? A continuance of the like conduct must attach them inviolably. And the present worthy governor and the council seem so feasible of the necessity of cultivating a good understanding with the Six Nations. Cultivating, that's building, right? They got to start with the heart. Cultivating a good understanding with the Six Nations. They gotta work on their heart, and we just want to come and work, and we just want to have, that part. As to likely to omit an opportunity of brightening the chain or increasing the fire of friendship with them. Ain't that something? It was a necessity to cultivate a good understanding with them, to build this fake ass friendship. I'm gonna come back to this, but I want y'all to hold on. Let's look at this real quick. I want to show y'all something. Let's look at this. Hold on. Let's check this out. We're finna get back to that in a second, but I want to show you guys this before we get into this other information, because man, this goes so far into everything. Pay close attention. Check this out. The friends. This can read, I believe. Let me see. Let me see. Y'all know how this thing act. I had it on pause so we could start right here real quickly. Hold on a second. Gonna have to restart it. I hate that. Now I gotta fast.
And bring not people's faith just for Jet Ward to thank God. Paper has been, when we consider the were it are bound to our doctrines and testimonies, and show right this now, were it abstracted from their reading, not only would a loss be sustained and felt, but its place would, in all probability, be supplied by unprofitable reading, and we trust that instead of leaving it to any difficulty from want of subscriptions, its sphere of usefulness will be enlarged. Many of our young friends, who are bound to our doctrines and testimonies, and show this bond by their consistent walking, take much comfort from the paper, and strongly desire that it may receive an ample support. For the friend, Thomas Scattergood and His Times.
Listen.
Continued from page 29. We have not sufficient information to enable us closely to follow Moses Brown in his private life, or to trace him in his manifold labors for the good of that religious society of which he was a member. It may be safely said that he was actively engaged in promoting the welfare of the human family, and was earnestly concerned that true Christian faith and the fruits of the Spirit should increase and abound. About the year 1815, a self-righteous spirit began to develop itself among the members of the Society of Friends in New England. It put on the same form and
a self-righteous spirit, huh? Y'all get a self-righteous spirit after that you've been welcomed in. After you guys are able to, have a place to till land and be able to make earnings, be laborers, they wanted to get greedy and take control of all this bountifulness here, huh?
Through the same phases as the delusion which sprang up in Ireland towards the close of the last century. It professed great spirituality, and by this pretense caught some honest-minded people. Those who had imbibed it spoke much about purity and perfection, and their intimations that they had attained them were not unfrequently given forth. As the outward marks of their perfection, they exhibited great simplicity in their dress and address, the furniture of their houses, and indeed, in their general conversation and carriage amongst men.
Yeah.
To the discerning observers, it soon became apparent that the great spiritual attainment boasted of by these new lights, as they were called, was more in word than in deed and in truth. They were like the great professions of love which some have made since, mere watchwords, or rather, war cries, of a party, indicating to what clique those belonged who uttered them, not descriptive of the spirit in which they lived. The deep spirituality of the new lights was but the delusions which their own imaginations, stirred up by the enemy of all good, brought upon them.
I want to make sure y'all heard that part real clear, right? It says the deep spirituality of the new lights was but the delusions which their imagination stirred up by the enemy of all good brought upon them. What we were just reading about, right? And what happened? This is following. They were indeed inflated by self-conceit, the greed, not being grateful for what you were given, not being grateful for allowing you to come on the land and, make way and send money back to your families, build up y'all continents over there because y'all ain't have nothing, taking dirt, everything y'all needed to build up, we were giving you guys, and then they weren't even grateful for that. Let's go.
They were indeed inflated by self-conceit, and feeling very large to themselves, imagined they had attained to a wonderful stature in the truth. Some years ago, two little boys being together, the smallest one addressing the other said, "I am bigger than thee." "How can thee say so?" returned the larger one, conscious of the advantage which the measuring stick would give him. "Oh," replied the little one, looking the importance he felt, "I am so big inside." Such was the condition of the new lights. They were very big inside, and in the exercise of their self-conceit, they soon began to call in question the truths of Holy Scripture, to allegorize away its plainest statements, and to deny the truth of the doctrines it inculcated, if they were above the comprehension of their reason.
That's right.
In the progress of the delusion, they professed to doubt the existence of any evil spirit other than the evil desires of man's heart. Then they professed to disbelieve the divinity of our Lord Jesus Christ, as being anything else than that which he partook of in common with all the righteous men and women who had existed.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Let me go back. I want to make sure. Such was the condition of the new lights. They were very big inside, and in the exercise of their self-conceit, they soon began to call in question the truth of Holy Scripture, to allegorize away its plainest statements, and to deny the truth of the doctrines it inculcated. The doctrines, weren't we just reading about all the doctrines of the nation? If they were above the comprehension of their reason. They wasn't. They just didn't want to do what they were supposed to do. How does things stop just that quick? Really? Come on, stop playing with me. I hate when they do that. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Gotta do all of this.
And bring not people's faith to stand in the power of God.
Hold on.
Ward. For the friend, it profess signs of love which some have made the enemy of all good, brought upon them. They were indeed inflated by self-conceit, and they say so. Returned the larger one, conscious of the advantage which the measuring stick would give him. Oh, replied the little one, looking the importance he
right
felt.
In your face, baby.
I am so big inside.
That's how they do. Right
Such
in
was
your
the condition
face.
of the new lights.
No respect.
They were very big inside, and in the exercise of their self-conceit, they soon began to call in question the truths of Holy Scripture, to allegize away its plainest statements, and to deny the truth of the doctrines it inculcated, if they were above the comprehension of their reason. In the progress of the delusion, they professed to doubt the existence of any evil spirit other than the evil desires of man's heart. Then they professed to disbelieve the divinity of our Lord Jesus Christ, as being anything else than that which he partook of in common with all the righteous men and women who had existed since the world began. This sentiment, of course, was connected with a total rejection of faith in his atonement and propitiatory sacrifice. Moses Brown and many other friends found it their religious duty zealously to oppose the spreading of this soul-deadening, this fanatical spirit. The opposition to this error stirred up.
Heard it.
Party strife.
Listen again.
Much disturbance.
To the soul what?
Since the world began. This sentiment, of course, was connected with a total rejection of faith in his atonement and propitiatory sacrifice.
I don't want to
Moses
stop it
Brown
again.
and many other friends found it their religious duty zealously to oppose the spreading of this soul-deadening, this fanatical spirit. The opposition to this error stirred up party strife. Much disturbance, both in meetings and out of meetings, attended the utterance of unsound sentiments by the one party, and the open opposition of the other. The New Light Unitarians plead the motions of the inward light in excuse for all the excesses into which they ran, and as a sufficient seal to the certainty and infallibility of the doctrines they upheld. They regarded themselves as the apostles of truth, and their opposers were the enemies of God, the supporters of error. They manifested great excitement of mind.
I want to make sure y'all paying attention. Listen to this
party
shit.
Strife. Much disturbance, both in meetings and out of meetings, attended the utterance of unsound sentiments by the one party, and the open opposition of the other. The New Light Unitarians plead the motions of the inward light in excuse for all the excesses into which they ran, and as a sufficient seal to the certainty and infallibility of the doctrines they upheld. They regarded themselves as the apostles of truth, and their opposers were the enemies of God, the supporters of error. They manifested great excitement of mind, at times, and no doubt, were often partially under derangement of the intellect. Some of them manifested much turbulence, and coming to the meetings of friends took seats in the upper minister's gallery, with swords by their sides, and one brought in with him an axe, to hew down, as he said, the corrupt tree. Among the leaders in this wild movement were some women. Let us give a sketch of one. For a few years down, as he said, they manifested great excitement of mind, at times, and no doubt, were often partially under derangement of the intellect. Some of them manifested much turbulence, and coming to the meetings of friends took seats in the upper minister's gallery, with swords by their sides, and one brought in with him an axe, to hew down, as he said, the corrupt tree. Among the leaders in this wild movement were some women. Let us give a sketch of one. For a few years before this religious distemper broke out, she had been concerned to labor in the ministry, in which her services had been acceptable to friends, and in the private circle of her familiar acquaintance, she was much moved. She had a fatal facility of entering into mystical speculations, bad a great power of thought, and much fluency in expressing it. To these causes, aided no doubt by the foolish adulation and praises of her friends, and her own want of abiding in humble watchfulness, we are to ascribe her fall. The spiritual distemper, with which her unhealthy mind, and that of other plague-spotted labor, in this evil cause had affected a portion of the community, ran its course in a few years of thought, and much fluency in expressing it. To these causes, aided no doubt by the foolish adulation and praises of her friends, and her own want of abiding in humble watchfulness, we are to ascribe her fall. The spiritual distemper, with which her unhealthy mind, and that of other plague-spotted labor, ERS in this evil cause had affected a portion of the community, ran its course in a few years. As the violent feverish symptoms subsided, a typhoid state, equally dangerous, supervened. They gave up the light within as a guide, and fell back upon reason.
That's right.
Their plain attire was changed for the habiliments worn by the fashionable world. Their refined spirituality, which would submit to no rule, which would be governed by no discipline, which would not bear to be tried even by the revelations of another, gave place, in the minds of some of them, as a religious guide, to the printed creed of the Unitarian Congregationalists, with all its lifeless forms. There they had water baptism, outward bread,
water
and wine,
baptisms,
and a staled man-paid ministry, in which no woman.
But the natural has a baptismal once they've come through the womb, right? Your soul is baptized in your mama's womb when it's born, birthed through the waters, right? That's the holy baptismal. So they are mocking that with the outside Christ. A Merry Christmas, Mary, Mother Mary, and Christ. And the mass of the true Christ, the Mother Mary, the true Mother Earth. Y'all ain't gonna get too much into that. Y'all got to go back on some old videos, but y'all know where it's at. Let's go.
Was permitted to participate. Some of the deluded ones, after the excitement was over, never joined any religious society, remaining apparently spiritually dead to the end of their race.
Mass.
Some of them still survive in New England, keeping much from sight, comfortless, forgotten, or disregarded in the neighborhood in which they dwell. During the lime of their greatest zeal, they traveled much about, and the meetings of friends even in Philadelphia were frequently disturbed by them. At first they were respectful and courteous to each other, but as they sank deeper and deeper in fanaticism, sometimes whilst one of them was preaching, a sec. And would commence singing, and it occasionally happened that three were speaking at once. Our friend Micajah Collins, who was one of their most successful opposers, being in Philadelphia on a religious visit not long before his death, received intelligence of the marriage of a young man, one of their leaders. He was destitute of property, and married a young woman about his equal in that respect. They were without means of subsistence, and without habits of industry, but expected, according their own declaration, to live upon faith.
They're what? They're on what?
Smiled at the assertion.
Not a declaration.
Aloud, said pleasantly, destitute of property, and married a young woman about his equal in that respect. They were without means of subsistence, and without habits of industry, but expected, according their own declaration, to live upon faith. Micajah smiled at the assertion, and after reading it aloud, said pleasantly, I guess they .6tl need a few clams. This remark brought one smile on the countenance of his hearers, in answer to whose inquiring glances, he added, the early settlers in New England, after the hardships of the first winter were past, wrote to their friends over the sea, that they had lived on faith.
Oh, listen to this.
Few clams. What moral absurdity it is, for those who are blessed with health, and the opportunities of earning ere living by the sweat of their brow, to remain in idleness, under a pretense of trusting in Providence to provide the necessary food to sustain life. It is an absurdity, which if the world around did not abound with unwi.se charities,
with unwise
would
charities,
soon cure itself. He who provideth not for his household is worse than an infidel, the apostle tells us, and the divine.
Ooh, any man that's sitting around and laying up on a woman, geez. When your job is to do what? If you don't know your job, you ain't a man. Let's get to it, right? He who provided not for his household, is worse than an infidel. That part, I gotta make sure y'all get it. Here, this shit stopped again. Okay, we're gonna get back to this. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to get back to this. I definitely want to get back to this. We're going to go back to that, guys, in a minute, because I want to go to something after that. But I wanted you guys to see that as we were reading this, right? The necessities of cultivating a good understanding with the Six Nations as to be likely to admit no opportunity of brightening the chain or increasing the Five Nations friendship with them. Now, y'all got it. Y'all just heard the whole gist of it. The confidence which the nations repose in their interpreter is a proof of his industry, Didn't they just speak of that? The proof of the industry, the good sense, and the address. Nothing could have happened more favorably to the English settlements than those delicate affairs should be in the hands of the person equally just and the friend of both. These good old friends they made. The French are perpetually laboring to debauch their faith to the English. They devoted their faith to the English. Their emissaries and the priests, and undesatable, artful, insinuating race. They are constantly laboring to gain admittance amongst them. They are constantly laboring to gain admittance upon them. They are constantly gaining labor to get the admittance upon the tribes. Listen to this part. They assume all shapes. They assume all shapes. Try every spring. They magnify the power and the grandeur of France. They study to render the English diminutive and contemptible. They permit every little occasion of disgust and leave no stone unturned to prejudice us in their esteem. Well, wait a minute. How would they be prejudicing them in their esteem? But the English, I thought the English was the Europeans. How could they be prejudicing them in this land that they're... Listen, is y'all with me in the chat? Somebody in the chat, press 1 if y'all with me in the chat. Is y'all with me in the chat? Press 1. Somebody press 1. Somebody press 1 while I'm checking with my chat. Yes. Can't happen, sis. Can't happen. All women are Mary. That's right. They try to transcribe us from Mary. Mother Mary, the womb bearer. The real, true water bearer. We talk about the water bearer, Jesus Christ, and the water bearer. Y'all don't get me off topic, because y'all know I'll go there. That's not... It says, stop it. Stop it. Don't get me started. Yeah. Salute, Dre Light. Peace. Welcome. Bruja. Yes, 1. All right. I know. See, I know my people with me. See, I know. See, sis, come on, sis. I ain't even have to question the Israel. Come on, bro. You know I ain't got to question you either. Come on, 7 Judas. Come on. We already know. Come on. See, all my people, this is what we talking about, the ones with the light. The true light. I know that's right. Let's get this info out. Yeah, listen, come on. Y'all know I got it. Y'all know I got you. Let's go. Let's go. It says, hitherto, the honor of the Six Nations and the experienced good intentions and probity of the English have been a sufficient barrier against all of their intrigues. But it cannot be imprudent to countermine the intended mischief by giving suitable encouragement to proper persons. The mischief by giving suitable encouragement, making them comfortable, just letting them, oh, you guys are so welcome. We're going to adopt you into our tribe. We're so loving and kind. And man, the converse with the Indians and study of their genius. The converse with the Indians and the study of their genius. The conversations with the Indians and the study of their genius. Studying them, making sure they get all their customs, how they tilling the land. We're going to get amongst them. We're going to learn what they do. Once we get amongst them and we learn what they do, then we can mimic and mock that. We can put ourselves to pretend that we are the creators of these things, right? I hope y'all getting it. An open-hearted generosity wins them effectually. Yeah. open-hearted generosity. The temper of the English is happily suited to this, and the additional qualifications of integrity and prudence must in time pave the way to an excentricity in their councils. The Indian councils, the Indian English councils. And by this means, the subtlety of the French would be utterly defeated. This is how they're going to defeat them. See, they got to get into they got to come away. One sees in the following short sketch of the behavior of the Indians strong traces of good sense. Listen, but they said they were stupid. Or maybe they were talking about those savages, the ones that they were trying to stay away from because they was eating flesh and all this stuff, right? Maybe they referring to them because they can't be talking about us because they said we was what the intelligent was. They said they was the one that they were studying so they could learn they what, right? Genius. To converse with the Indians and study their genius. They were geniuses. They're looking like, wow, we came here. Oh my gosh, they got running water. They got all these big, huge buildings. They got just the flourishment of everything. Gold, silver, mineral rights, all of these things. Remember, I showed you guys all the gold mines that were all over the country and the land. They start setting up land, setting up shop. Man, come on. One sees in the following short sketch, let me see, that's not where it's at. Hold on. Of good sense, traces of good sense, a nice address in the conduct of their affairs, a nice address in the conduct of their affairs. You mean they had their conduct of governing themselves in their affairs, and it was just so great and so wonderful, because it was so intelligent. It was just so honorable, right? Yeah, it was, because what? A noble simplicity. They said it was a noble simplicity, simply noble. Can't get around it, simply noble. And the many fortitude, which is the constant companion of integrity. Nothing but integrity, because see, we operate with integrity. A true Indian gonna operate with integrity, right? They're gonna operate with the highest forms of integrity. My word is my bond. My word is my bond. My word is my bond. Because the true Indians stand by their word, right? That's right. Exactly. But they came here and they was like, oh my gosh, these geniuses, they're just so awesome. We just got to study everything and try to take it over. The integrity. The integrity of it all. Oh my gosh, you great people. They can demise you all they want to, but y'all know the truth, right? Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know where y'all come from. Says that part, that was enough to amaze them. They was like, we can get clean and stay clean all day. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dead to this. That's right. Our ancestors always said that. My word is my, especially the grandfathers. Listen, the grandfather and grandma gonna tell you too, but the granddaddies, they ain't play. But a real true man, a real Indian, indigenous, aboriginal man of this land, they don't play about their word. Listen, I can't go back on my word. My word is my bond. Trust me. If I'm telling you this, I mean this. I'm gonna stand in it. What? Come on, y'all. Y'all know it. Nothing but facts on that part. Y'all know we got integrity. The true ones do. The real Indians, the full bloods. The friendship of a nation like this, though under the appellation of savages and barbarians, yeah. See the lies they put on you? But here we know, because they said all the intelligence and the genius and everything. They couldn't help but see it when they came here. Shit, when they see stuff they ain't never seen in their life. It is an honor to the most civilized people. I say nothing of the advantage which is derived from them by commerce. Not by commerce. Commerce? We're talking about trade and commerce and industry and all these different things, because they would come here and, starting to trade out. And since they started letting them be planters on the lands, right? And certain Indians say, yeah, you can come here to my land. once you come to my land and you start working, you can get some labor going. I'll pay you some wages. You can till the land, help me, and then boom, if you have something to send back to your family to help them out, go ahead and do that, so on and so forth, so they can start commercing and sending things back. Maybe trading certain items that they want to send back to build the land, so on and so forth, right? It says, and the French well known by their experience how terrible they are to their enemies in war. Listen, known by experience how terrible they are with their enemies in war. Because what? If we get on their wrong side, if we come playing with these people and we done put word with them, because see, they take word as bond, and we told them we were here just to build ourselves and just to, to get a little something. They said, sure, come on, we'll help you guys out. Now, if we find out that all of that was Dre Light, okay, no problem, brother. We have all these things that we have to understand, because they were, they weren't playing. So they had to come as friends, guys. Make sure you understand this. They had to come as friends, because it says right here, let me see what you said. It says one of my uncles are being lynched, a man, and then say who it was. Yeah. It had to be, they had to be friends, right? They had to make friends. They had to play like, oh, yes, yes, we're going to bow and do everything you say, while they getting in. So, getting in, easing in, and pretending like, they have all this love for them that they were receiving. They're actually acting like they're giving out the same love that they were retrieving, but that's a lie. They weren't doing that. They were easing in the camp. Then they tell you they had to pretend, right? Let's keep going. All right. When we speak of the 5 nations, we're going to read like 3 more pages here, guys, because I want to get back to the next item, because I definitely want to get on to the other information that's going to really blow your mind. Listen to this. When we speak of the 5 nations in France, says an author of that country, they are thought by common mistake, to be mere barbarians, always thirsting after human blood. But their true character is very different. Right? They're the fiercest and the most formidable people in the North America. They are the fiercest and most formidable people in North America. So we better come in with our white flags waved and, hey, can we get some help? Can you guys just let us come here and till the lands a bit? Can we do a little bit of more trading? We just like to get a few things, just so we can build ourselves up. We just like to take a bath. We just need a little food to eat. We just want to miscegenate with your blood, the copper warm blood of you Indian, so that we can actually get life into our blood, because we're dying. We're frail of health. Our skin is frail. Our hair is frail. Our blood is frail. This is what they said in their miscegenation book. They said they had to come here and what? Did y'all see that? Make sure you go and watch that video on miscegenation. It's 3 parts. All right. Okay, we got let's see here, guys. We got another hour and a half. Oh yeah, I'm doing pretty good, because I'm gonna have time to get into everything I want to show you guys today. Check this out. I'm gonna be taking a break in a minute, guys. Do a little stretching. Y'all might want to do the same thing. Oh my gosh, maybe I'll do it. Oh, I'll wait till I start doing the other book, because I got to get out here and get some of this sun too, while you guys are listening to that. At the same time, as politic and judicious as well can be imagined, this appears from the management of the affairs which they transact, not only with the French and English, but likewise with almost all of the Indians of this vast continent. I wanted to read you guys. Hold on, let me see. Do I want to bypass this right now? I think I'm going to bypass this. Let's get to this other book. I might come back to this, guys, after I get into the other information. I might come back to this. Hold on a second. Let me get back to this real quick. I definitely need to take a quick break. And yeah. Now, this, when y'all listen to this finna blow your mind for real, y'all. These people something else, man. When I tell you they something else, they something else. All right, let's get to it. I gotta restart it. I forgot. Hold on a second.
Few years before this religious ERS of the Mikaja smiled at the assertion, Nain in idleness, under a pretense of trusting in Providence to provide the necessary food to sustain life. I'm stepping away for a second, but I'll be right back. Please listen. It is an absurdity. Please listen. Which if the world around did not abound with unwi.se charities, would soon cure itself. He who provideth not for his household is worse than an infidel, the apostle tells us, and the divine. That part. Blessing need never be expected by those who are not performing the duty they owe to their families. Let me leave that right there. The true-hearted children of God, having done all in their power to provide the necessaries of life, for themselves and those dependent upon them, have a right to look unto the Lord in faith, that in his good plea, sure, he will provide for them all things needful. Those who are not his children through the redemption and adoption which is in Christ Jesus, have no more right to look for the exercise of his providence, than an old man in Byberry had, who many years ago, made a fire in his oven, and put in some round stones in expectation that they would bake into bread. This plan of living without labor failing, he tried living from his gatepost with no better success, coming into contact with the ground with sufficient energy to convince him by physical suffering, that those who tempt Providence, by calling on him to help in dilemmas they purposely bring on themselves, will be likely to find themselves woefully mistaken. To be continued. Important discovery in ventilation. Dr. Chown has enrolled a patent for improvements in ventilating rooms and apartments, of the perfect efficacy of which, we believe, there cannot be a doubt, and on a principle at once most simple and unexpected. Without going into details, we may state that the improvements are based upon an action in the siphon which has not previously attracted the notice of any experimenter, viz. That if fixed with legs of unequal length, the air rushes into the shorter leg, and circulates up, and discharges itself from the longer leg. It is easy to see how readily this can be applied to any chamber, in order to purify its atmosphere. Let the orifice of the shorter leg be disposed where it can receive the current, and lead it into the chimney, in mines, into the shafts, so as to convert that chimney or shaft into the longest leg, and you have at once the circulation complete. A similar air siphon can be employed in ships, and the lowest holds, where disease is generated in the close berths of the crowded seamen, be rendered as fresh as the upper decks. The curiosity of this discovery is that the air in a siphon reverses the action of water, or other liquid, which enters and descends or moves down in the longer leg and rises up in the shorter leg. This is now a demonstrable fact, but how is the principle to be accounted for? It puzzles our philosophy. That air in the bent tube is not to the surrounding atmosphere as water, or any heavier body, is evident, and it must be from this relation that the updraft in the longer leg is caused, and the constant circulation and withdrawal of polluted gases carried on. But be this as it may, one thing is certain, that a more useful and important discovery has never been made for the comfort and health of civilized man. We see no end to its application. There is no sanitary measure suggested to which it may not form a most beneficial adjunct. There is not a hovel, a cellar, a crypt, or a black close hole anywhere, that it may not cleanse and disinfect. London Literary Gazette. For the friend, the happiest man. He is by no means the happiest man whose principal delight is in the fleeting things of time, while his affections are hovering about them, they may take their flight forever from his view. He is the truly happy man whose chief enjoyment is to live in strict conformity with the divine counsel and fear, who is willing to go over rough places, as well as over smoother ones, and even down as into deep waters, trusting to the arm of omnipotence to bring him forth at the right time, and to set him on the immovable rock of ages. The man whose primary desire is to live in this way, will find that the Redeemer's kingdom is not of this world, and that it will not tend to his happiness to press, in the strength of his carnal mind, for the mastery, especially in things appertaining to the welfare of the church. Instead of seeking some method to avenge either real or supposed injuries, he is by far the happiest man, who endeavors to bear them, with Christian resignation and fortitude, and in humility and meekness, aspires for that divine strength, which can enable him to return good for evil. The happiest man is he who does not look upon his external blessings as the source and substance of his happiness, but who looks up to his Creator with gratitude for them, endeavoring to center in the spirit of truth, and grow from stature to stature in grace, who has put off the old man with his deeds, and has put on the new man,
who has put off the old man with his deeds and has put on the new man. I don't know if y'all heard that part real quick. Let's go back.
The happiest man is he who does not look upon his external blessings as the source and substance of his happiness, but who looks up to his Creator with gratitude for them, endeavoring to center in the spirit of truth, and grow from stature to stature in grace, who has put off the old man with his deeds, and has put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Col. 3:9-10, seeking ability to perform all divine requirings faithfully. Such only can feel a settlement and an assurance of blessings below, as well as of spiritual favors, and are doubly capacitated even to enjoy the things of time. When
when all the pleasing objects upon earth must be left, are fast fading from the sight. When all the pleasing objects upon earth must be left, are fast fading from the sight, the staff of faith would bear up in this trying extremity. That faith, that staff, which can only be found by the devoted Christian. I'm live, sis. Yeah, I'll call you right back. Well, not right back, but as soon as I finish this in about an hour. All right. Okay. Christian, and which can support him to see incomprehensible glories behind the grave. Check this out, y'all. We about to get into something else. I'm finna show y'all what's going on now. We went into this before, but I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of this. Is this do I have it pulled up on here? Oh, it's not even pulled up on here. Okay, I'm gonna skip that for now. We'll get back to that if I have time to pull it up. Let's see. I want to show you guys a couple of things. Let's start. I want to start here. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I think I do want to read this to you guys. Just this part right here on here. Let me see. No, because I'll have to read too many pages. Okay, we'll get back to this as well. Hold on, guys. Let's start here. I'm going to start here. This is like pertinent to you guys, right? We're going to look at the Bill of Rights real quick, right? Let's check this out. This is very important, pertinent information, guys. I hope you guys are paying attention. Bill of Rights. And the foreigners and the duties. Let me put that. The duties of the corpse. Let's go. Let's get into this real quick because I think a lot of people don't understand how important all this stuff is. I'm going to say something on this as well, right? When you guys hear anything negative about people getting so-called paperwork, right? Everyone knows that I do estate planning to assist you with your paperwork and getting things in order to get your head start. I believe some people have a misconception that the paperwork is a get out of jail free card. It means that you don't have to do any work. Oh, sister, so I pay her this couple of dollars, them few dollars. I'm talking about a couple of dollars that people complain about. I pay her these couple of dollars and now I can walk free. Oh yeah, you can. That's your covering. That's your shield. That's your umbrella of protection. But what are you putting under the umbrella? What are you holding the umbrella with? What are you doing and walking with it in the rain? Getting the information. Do y'all get it? You got to put this information inside you. I can't make you get the information. I can put it out there all day long, but you have to know this stuff. It has to be instilled inside of you. It has to be instilled inside of you. I cannot teach you everything you need to know. I can only guide you, give you reference, show you documentation, give you study materials. This is what I do when the course comes in effect. Same way I go through these lives, the course is like 10 times more intense. Even though I've heard so many complaints with certain negative people, you know, on a I guess a popularity train, you know, they got to stay good with certain people or look good. They want to complain because they need a few dollars back. I don't know what the thing is, but I don't know. I've never done anything or paid for any service at all and then complain 2-3 months later. I've never done that. That's amazing to me. I don't know who can do that and think that that's sufficient for like being realistic. Like, come on. Anyway, when it comes to these things, right, it's so important. So this is why I keep trying to show you guys these things, because of the relevance. And you have to know this stuff, right? I'm not going to walk you, hold your hand, right? I'm not going to give you the silver platter. Now I have the silver platter. You join the class, that's your silver platter. Exchange, a fair exchange, right? Currency for currency. A donation of currency, right? And then you'll get a currency that is full of information. Now, whether you take heed to it and you study that information and you take the time to understand things, that's on you. You know, I'm not your God. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not your Savior. None of those things. To anybody that maybe thought that. I mean, I don't even have an ego, but shit, the way y'all put me on the pedestal, like once y'all took a class, y'all was walking into freedom. Like, I don't understand. The freedom is in your mind. I can't unlock those bars. All I can do is keep showing you the information. You got to get that and instill it within yourself. If you got in the paperwork from me in the study materials and you don't know what's going on right now, you ain't doing no work. You literally lazy. You're not paying attention, right? Seriously, I just can't understand why people don't want to put the work in. You have to put work in for anything that you want to develop. What did we just read in that prior sentence in the other book? It was telling you that you have to put the work in. It's just that simple. I don't know what else to tell you. Let's get into this. If you missed this, guys, I'm so sorry, because this will be going on members only. Make sure you're paying attention to this information, guys. This will be going on members only today. Okay. Article 1, Bill of Rights. A declaration of rights that is made by the good. Listen, a declaration of rights, the Bill of Rights. It's made by what? The good of the people of Virginia in the exercise of their sovereign powers. Wait a minute. The Virginia people have sovereign powers. But I thought sovereignty was something weird. Like people talk about it and they say, oh, you're gonna go to jail. Wait a minute. But it says here in the Bill of Rights that a declaration, let me put it in the chat for you guys, just make sure you have a clear understanding of this, right? It says right here that a declaration of rights made by the good of the people, made by the good people of Virginia. That's my family, guys. My family were a part of the Declaration of Rights, made by the good people of Virginia in the exercise of their sovereign powers, their sovereign powers. Do you guys understand this? Let me highlight some of this for you guys if you're not getting it. Sovereign. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let me just keep it moving, because y'all gonna get this today. I don't give a damn. All this pseudo, all these lies about me. I ain't trying to bring no drama to this bill, because I don't even care no more. But the people that have true light, I want y'all to understand. I will never do anything to harm my people. I will never abuse my people. I will never take advantage of my people. I would never use my people for my better good. Anything that I do is to help and assist. So hey, let's get to this. All right, now, section 1. This is so pertinent. Listen very closely, guys. We're going to go through this. Section 1, equality and rights of men. Let's listen to what those equalities and rights of men are. That all men are by nature equally free and independent and have certain inherent rights. I tell you this all the time. You have inherent rights, of which when they enter into a state of society, they cannot by any compact deprive or divest their posterity, a state of their society, an state, trust in the state, your trust, your estate. I ain't gonna break it down though. but pay attention. Derive or divest their posterity, namely the enjoyment of life and liberty, with the means of acquiring and possessing property and pursuing and obtaining happiness and safety. You mean to tell me that you have equal rights for these things? You mean to tell me it's your right? It's your right to have equality. You mean to tell me it's your right to be free? You mean to tell me all these things that people try to act like aren't important to you, they are? Wait. It get deeper. I ain't even got to the good part. Yes. I love you too, sis. I love you guys too. For real. You already know. It ain't even got to the good part yet. Yeah, I'm about to really trip y'all out in a second. Check this out. That's right. I know people that's getting educated. I know people that's improving their lives due to the information they're acquiring. You hear me? Unalienable rights. That's right, bro. Unalienable rights. Nothing can change that. Nothing can come against the right of men, living men and women, the God people, as they say. Let's get into it. People, the source of power. You mean to tell me the people are the source of power? The people are the source of power. You can't believe that, can you? Yes, you can, because listen, it says that all power, all, it don't say some, a little bit of, part of, none of that. It says all power is vested in and consequently derived from the people. All power is vested in and consequently derived from the people. That magistrates are their trustees and servants, and at all times amenable to them. Amenable to them. At all times amenable to them. Y'all don't get this. Put a one in the chat if y'all really getting the depth of this shit. Like, if y'all really understand this, I want y'all to put a one in the chat for real. Do I need to stop and break it down? Y'all getting this or what? I mean, should I just break this down? Let me do it then, just in case. I don't see no ones yet. It's telling you that all the power, listen, all power is vested in what? And it is consequently derived from who? The people. It's derived from who? The people. It is derived from who? The people. Listen to this most important part. Listen to this. That the magistrates, right? The magistrates, who's a magistrate? Who knows what a magistrate is? Put it in the chat. I'm going to make sure y'all getting this. Who knows what a magistrate is? What is a magistrate? What is a magistrate? Somebody put it in the chat. What is a magistrate, guys? Y'all going to learn today. What's a magistrate? Let me put my thing up. People talking junk about me. I'm still going to put my stuff up. Yes. Period. Okay. What is a magistrate, guys? Who knows what a magistrate is? When you that's, come on, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's right, be black. They the so-called judges, but we know the judges that operate in the administrative arena, that's all they're doing. They're administrative operators. They're operating on foreign bar cards, operating beyond the bench. We're not gonna get into all that, but just check this out. It tells you, I'm gonna outline this part right here because this is so important for you guys to understand. It tells you that they are what? It tells you that they are the magistrates, are the trustees. Are who's trust? It says there. Who is there? The people. The people trustees. They're trustees and servants. They are the servant. The judge is your trustee and servant. Y'all can't get too much into this. Y'all better get in this next class. I'm telling you, y'all better get in this next class. I don't care what nobody tell y'all. Well, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to get in the next class. It's starting tomorrow, but the next class that we have in the next 4 weeks. This next 4 weeks is going to be powerful. There's always intense new additional information because there's so much to share. But this next class is going to go into quite a bit. All right, let's go. Let me get back to it. They your trustees, right? and they're your servants. What's a trustee? If you had your trust put together, Sister Soul had you put your trust together, you know what a trustee is, right? And we all know what a servant is, right? And it says at all times, amenable to them. At all times, amenable to them. That means at their service. So they're at your service. So if a judge calling you in the court and they act like they got some rulership or something over you, wait a minute. Hold on, judge. You're magistrate. Aren't you my trustee? Right? Aren't you supposed to do anything that's serviceable to me to be at my benefit? But you have me in this courtroom operating under an administrative procedure. Oh man, come on, judge. You playing yourself. Listen to this. Section 3, government instituted for the common belief. Listen to this. Listen to this. That government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit. Government is instituted for what? For the common benefit, the protection and the security of the people of the nation or community of all the various modes and forms of government. Wait a minute. Are you telling me that they're supposed to be here for your protection and your security and for your benefit and all these things because they're supposed to do what? I might have to pull this other book up. Dang, because I wanted to show you guys some of that. We're going to get back. We're going to finish this, and then I want to show you guys some other stuff. I'll probably do that last. Oh, man, let me put it in the chat. Pull up world book. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat just so I can remember. Pull up the World Court doc. I got to show y'all again. Y'all saw me. We read the most pertinent parts of that World Court document, showing you what the same thing. We the people. If y'all remember, I'm gonna try to pull it up for anybody that didn't see it, just to get it in this bill. So let me hurry up. All right. It says that is best which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. What do you mean maladministration? You mean the courts operating as an administrative procedure and then they're using it against you and then they're using it with maladministration. Maladministration would mean going against you. Maladministration means they are going against you. Because why? Their administrative duties is to do what? What is their administrative duties? Their administrative duties are as trustees and servants at all times. It says at all times, right? At all times. So if they're servants at all times, if they're your trustees at all times, right? And if they're bringing you into court and they're saying that this company or this corporation is bringing you to court for X, Y, and Z, then it would be up to you to make sure that you clarify with the judge, bringing him the correct information and documentation, showing him that, wait a minute, you have an office of oath that you transcribe to, sir, to be a fiduciary of responsibility over me as my trustee when it comes to these matters, Your Honor. Right? Because it would be maladministration if you are not doing your duties, Your Honor, right? And whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, a majority of the community hath an indubitable, Lord, I'm having y'all know what indubitable, that's your duty. You have an invested duty, basically. An indubitable, I don't know why I can't say it right, but that's the best way I can do it. And an inalienable and an indefeasible right to reform and an indefeasible right to perform. Listen. To alter, listen, or to abolish in such manner as shall be judged must conducively to the public will. I don't understand if y'all get the depth of that statement. Who get the depth of that statement? Put a 1 in the chat. Who get the depth of that statement? Put a 1 in the chat. If you want me to elaborate, put a 2 in the chat. If you need me to elaborate, put a 2 in the chat. If you need me to elaborate, put a 2 in the chat. If you need me to elaborate, put a 2 in the chat. Okay, let's go. All right, bro, I got you. Let's break it down. It says, listen, I'm going to start back up here. The government instituted for common belief, that is government or ought to be instituted for the common belief, protection, security of the people, nation, or community. That's what it's for, right? Of all various modes and forms of government. That is best, listen, that is best, which is incapable of producing, right? Listen, that is best, which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety. They are supposed to produce the greatest degree of happiness and safety, but they're doing the exact opposite to us right now, right? Listen up. They're doing the exact opposite. They're supposed to be producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety, but they have us in fear of our own lives sometimes, right? They put this propaganda, this news out like, oh my gosh, as soon as you're driving your car, if they see you, they may shoot you. All these different things. As soon as you watch the news, oh my gosh, look what's happening. All of these things. That's going against your happiness and your safety, right? You're putting us in harm's way. Listen. Here it goes. And is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. It's telling you, you have security against maladministration. You have the security. You are backed by the laws that govern your security. And whenever any government shall be found, here's the good part. Check it out. Whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, listen, if they are inadequate or contrary to the purposes of what? Maladministration, the happiness of the people, the safety of the people, the well-being of the people, the security of the people, the benefit, protection of the people, and of the entire nations. What happens whenever any government shall be found inadequate of these things, right? Listen, here comes your part, but I don't know if y'all taking heed. I ain't gonna get too deep into this, but y'all better listen real quick to this. Y'all better listen. I didn't mean to say it like that. Y'all need to listen to this. This is very important, right? A majority of the community, listen. And listen. I want y'all to understand what undubitable means. Listen. Undubitable.
Here's the definition of indubitable. Impossible.
Hold on. I took it down, guys. My bad. Hold on. Let me do it again.
Indubitable.
What is the definition of indubitable?
Here's the definition of indubitable. Impossible to doubt. Unquestionable.
Let's hear that again. What's the definition of indubitable?
Here's the definition of indubitable. Impossible to doubt. Unquestionable.
What's the definition of inalienable?
Here's the definition of inalienable. Unable to be taken away from or given away by the possessor.
What is the definition of indefeasible right?
According to Legal Information Institute, Cornell University, indefeasible refers to a legal right that has been granted for certain without any conditions. The term most commonly refers to a future property interest that does not have any condition precedent or future contingency.
Y'all get it? Listen, alter or abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public will. The majority of the community has an undubitable and inalienable and an indefeasible right to reform. To reform what? The government. To reform the government. To alter the government. Or to what? To abolish it in such manner as shall be judged most conducive to the public will. Do y'all get it? Press 1 if y'all get it. Press 1 if y'all get it. Press 1 if y'all get it. Press 1 if I get it. I keep telling y'all, y'all are the people. Y'all are the governors. Y'all have it. And it tells you it is your duty to reform it, to go back, to correct it. If they're not doing what they're supposed to do, you're supposed to do what? Abolish it. That's in the Bill of Rights. That's your right. And it's your duty. Do y'all understand? Come on. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand me. I'm starting to get emotional right now, man. I might have to take a break in a second. I swear, y'all, this stuff be man. I'm telling y'all, it's so serious, and people want to keep playing about this real truth out here. If y'all don't wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake your ass up. Wake up. I love you guys. I wouldn't do nothing to harm you. I wouldn't do nothing to deceive you. I wouldn't do nothing to try and take from you. I had a person had me so upset. That's right. Challenges. You got to challenge it on every muscle you can. I had someone had me so upset, getting caught up in my feelings with this nonsense. So I have to make sure that I show you guys this is real. I'm not playing with you guys. Like, you just have to do the work to really, it's so much. I can't tell y'all and show y'all all this stuff in a day or two, or a week or two, or a month or two, even, or a year or two. Everything that I keep showing you guys, this is information I've been obtaining for over 2 years. I've only been doing this for 2 years, guys. A little over 2 years. You know how many people come to me for help that said they've been doing this for 8 and 10 years? They have gotten no answers till they came to me. Like, literally, that's because I do a deep dive. I'm really about this life. That's just something that's in me. And I'm here to help you. I ain't gonna do nothing but bring you to the light of day. For real. No exclusive emoluments or privileges, offices not to be hereditary, right? Listen, that no man or set of men is entitled to exclusive or separate emoluments or privileges from the community. No man. But it's consideration of public services. Public services. That means you are a public service worker, which not being discernible, neither ought, Lord, I'm sorry, y'all, which not being discernible, neither ought the offices of magistrate, legislator, or judge to be hereditary. Period. I want to get to this next document, guys. This is going to go into a little, well, let me read at least the next two. Okay. That the legislative, executive, and judicial departments of the Commonwealth should be separate and distinct, and that the members thereof may be restrained from oppression by feeling the participation and the burdens of the people. They should at fixed periods be reduced to a private station, returning to that body from which they were originally taken. Return to the body from which they are originally taken. What is that body? The natural body, the natural law, the body of self-governance, right? Your original sovereignty. And the vacancies be supplied by regular elections in which all or any part of the former members shall be again eligible or ineligible as the laws may direct. That all elections ought to be free, and that all men having sufficient evidence of permanent common interest, with an attachment to the community, have the right of suffrage and cannot be taxed, or deprived of, or damaged in their property for public use. Can be damaged in their property for public use. So the public servants, right? These workers, these servants, these slaves, they can't do anything that can deprive me of my property, right? So the property I might acquire, if I go get a home, I go get a house, I decide that I want to take on this estate, I decide I want to get a vehicle, I need some large ticketed item for my home or repair, all of these things, right? They're all covered, right? Yeah, they're covered. Without their own consent, or that their representative duly elected or bound by any law to which they have in like manner ascended for public good. That all power of suspending laws or the execution of laws by any authority without consent of the representatives of the people is injurious to their rights and ought not to be exercised. I hope y'all get this. Laws that are suspended, right? Let me put this in the chat for you guys because I got to get to this next document. Let me check our time here. We got about another hour, y'all. This about to get we about to get into it. Y'all think we got into it? We got more to go. We got more clarity to go. All right. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do. The ones that really come in here to educate themselves. A lot of you guys are aware of a lot of this information, but you come in to get more clarity. You are astute. You are astute. I'm an astute student. I appreciate that, Empress. Yes, it is. I've been like this. Listen, y'all don't even know. I've been a voice of reason in my family since I was like 7 years old. This was even before I had my accident. I mean, literally as a kid. Like I don't even know what to tell y'all. I cannot help it. It's natural. It's nothing I pretend to do, nothing I pretend to be. It's just something that the ancestors have in me to be able to spread light and information. You know, anyone that is not attuned to that, they are not on the proper frequency. They definitely ain't on my frequency. That's right. All right. And let's go. I ain't gonna get into the criminal prosecutions. I'm gonna get to a few other things. So we got about another hour, guys. So I'm gonna let's go here real quick. Let's talk about these agencies and their duties again. These servants, right? We know they're servants, right? You guys put a one in the chat if y'all know that they're servants. It just told you in the Bill of Rights that they servants. It told you they servants. Put a one in the chat if y'all know they servants, guys, because it's gonna go right to it. Each agency shall make available to the public information as follows. Each agency shall separately state and currently publish in the Federal Registry for the guidance of the public. In the Federal Registry. I went through a couple of Federal Registries with you guys, right? Descriptions of its central and field organizations and the established place at which the employees and the case of the I'm sorry. Whew, I ain't feeling too good, y'all, with my sinuses today. So y'all, I'm a little disorientated. So y'all gotta forget this reading. Goodness. The uniformed service, the members from whom and the methods whereby the public may obtain information and make submittals of requests or obtain decisions, because the public has the right to make what decisions. We just went over there, right? But they don't let you know. But see, they publish it in these federal registries that you never go on to try to figure out what's going on, so you can make changes or oppose the laws, the fake laws that they put in, the legalities, right? It says that statements of the general course and method of which its functions are channeled and determined, including the nature and the requirements of all formal and informal procedures available, rules of procedure, descriptions on forms available of practices at which the forms may be obtained, and the instructions at the scope of the contents of all papers, reports, and examinations. Because see, you guys have a right. They have these forms available so that you can make these discrepancies, you can make these issues that you have, right? Right? Let's confirm something else again for you guys, right? This is Title 5, guys. We're going to go into subsection 2635.101. This is very important when it comes to the basic obligation of the public servants. The public service, which are what? The public servants. Right? Check this out. Public service, right? Public service is a public trust. Uh-oh, not a trust. Hold on. Not a trust, SistarSoul. Not a trust. Not a trust that I keep telling you guys you need to get established under your own trust so that you... I ain't gonna go there, but just listen. Public service is a public trust. Each employee has a responsibility to the United States government and its citizens. Each employee has a responsibility to the United States government and its citizens to place loyalty to the Constitution, to place loyalty to the Constitution and to the laws and to the ethical practices, the ethical principles above private gain, But are they doing that? Not when they're taking your securities and they misappropriately trading them on the stock market, because you're not aware that you have significantly applied a security. Where is a security? A security is a bonded application. A security is a bill of attainment. A security is a application. The application is what? It is secured by Oh, guys, I got to take this. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. This is important. All right, guys, let's go. I'm back at it. All right, so, right? Did I put that in the chat? Because I meant to. Yeah, I did. So each employee, right? Once you understand this, each employee has a responsibility to the United States government and its citizens to place loyalty in the Constitution, the laws, the ethical practices, and principles above their own private gain. So trading you on the stock market, that's not above their private gain, is it? If they're trading your principles on the stock market unbeknownst to you, deceitfully, right? Using your securities, not making you aware of it. They're supposed to make you aware of it. In every contract that you have, they're supposed to disclose this information and let you know what they're doing. So that immediately makes any contract what? Void. Okay, let's go. To ensure that every citizen have complete and confidence, hold on. To ensure that every citizen can have complete confidence in the integrity of the federal government. Now, we know we don't got no confidence in them. We know they don't got no integrity because everything they've been doing has been what? Ass backwards, as my grandmother would say. Each employee shall respect, listen to this. This is important. Each employee shall respect and adhere. Each employee shall respect and adhere to the principles of ethical conduct set forth in this section, as well as implementing standards contained in this part and in supplemental agency relationships. Y'all see this? Listen. General principles, right? General principles. The following general principles apply to every employee of the United States government, to every employee of any United States corporation, right? Every employee and may form the basis for the standards contained in this part, where its situation is not covered by the standards set forth in this part. Employees shall apply the principles set forth in this section in determining whether their conduct is proper. We already know it don't be proper. We already know they shucking and jiving you up every chance they get. Oh, sign this line. Oh, here, sign this financing charge. The charge is just, we're giving you securities based off your credit. Should you give me security based off my credit? I need to get every damn thing then. Because I got full faith and credit, baby, with the United States. I was born that way. I'm sovereign to the United States. That's based off the world court, right? I got to show that document before we get out of here too again. Public service is a public trust. Not a public trust. What you talking about, sister? So why you keep talking about them trust? What should they talk about? They tell you they got the trust right out there. You just got to make sure you're the beneficial owner with the beneficial interest in what's going on with your stuff. You hear me? That's right, sis. The lies that they tell, that part says each employee has a responsibility, baby. Yeah, they got a responsibility. Yeah, they do. Public service is a public trust requiring employees. It's a public trust requiring employees to place loyalty in the Constitution, to place loyalty in the laws of the land, to place loyalty in the ethical principles above their own private gain. They're not doing that though. So if they're not doing that, what does it tell you that they're supposed to be doing? If they're not doing these things, guys, what's supposed to be happening? Who knows what's supposed to be happening if they're not doing those things, right? Let me see. Let me go back. Just to remind you guys real quick what's supposed to be happening. What's supposed to be happening? If they're not doing it for the common benefit, the government is or ought to be instituted for the common benefit. For the common benefit. It just said it again. The protection, security of the people, the nation, or the community of all the various modes and forms of government that is best, which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety for the people, and is most effectually secured against the danger of maladministration. It's talking about it yet again, the maladministration procedures. And whenever any government shall be found inadequate or contrary to these purposes, a majority of the community hath an indubitable, an inalienable, an indefeasible right to reform, alter, or abolish it in such manners as shall be judged most conducive to the public will. Do you guys get it? Is that making sense? I really hope that that's making sense to you guys. Like, I want to make sure it's making sense. Okay, let's get back to it because, yeah, it is making plenty of sense. Let me see. Did I skip a document? Was I here? I think I was on this page. Wait a minute. I'll make sure I don't skip y'all. Nothing. We here? I think we were here. Okay. So the public service, right, is the public trust requiring employees to place loyalty in the Constitution, the laws, and the ethics principles above the private gain. When they're not doing that, that's what? Maladministration. Maladministration. They need to be what? Removed from their position. Employees shall not hold financial interests that conflict with the consciousness in the performance of duty. That conflicts with the consciousness in the performance of duty. Well, shoot, isn't the duty of the magistrate to be for the people? Isn't it the duty of the magistrate for them to make sure that they're doing everything for my benefit? Because they're what? My servant. It said that they're my servant, right? Employees shall not engage in financial transactions. Listen to what they're doing. Employees shall not engage in financial transactions using non-public government information or allow the improper use of such information to further any private interest. Oh, you mean like formulating the embassy? You mean like formulating the UN so they can work with these embassies? You mean like formulating the IMF office, the International Money Funds Transfer, and all of these things? Do you mean by doing all of these things that put the industry and the corporation and putting the people into admiralty with birth certificates and social security so that they can maintain the control over these trusts unbeknownst to the people, even though the people control it because they can't do nothing with it without you? Oh, come on, y'all. Y'all know where they at. An employee shall not accept as permitted by subpart B of this part, solicit or accept any gift or other item of monetary value from any person or entity seeking official action from or doing business with or conducting activities regulated by the employee's agency, or whose interests may be subsequently affected by the performance or non-performance of the employee's duties. Oh, you mean like letting corporations come into the United States, forming certificates of participation, articles of participation, certificates of degree for their business to operate on the soil, coming in to operate on the soil under federal guidelines and federal rules and their standards, the things that they allow these people to come in and say, hey, I want to come in and I want to service the community. I want to come in and I want to provide a resource to your community here in this particular area. While doing that, you're going through the government to get the sanction. They will then now have funding because they are allocated as fiduciaries and administrators for the account of this corporation. So when you come to work for them, you're giving them your word. My word is my bond. You're giving them your word that you're going to work for them because you filled out an application. You put your social security number on there. You put your date of birth on that application. And what happens now? They take that application, they submit it with the W-9 form. That's why they say you can't start working until you submit your social security card in that W-9. The W-9 goes to the Social Security Administration building because now Social Security can take that application, use it, the information going back to the Treasury Department because now they're allocating funds for you. That's what the W-9 is for, to allocate the funds for you in a federal corporation that they've set up through the incorporation of their article of participation, certificate of participation, all these things that they put in. When they have these things set up, they are now saying you're part of their militant organization because these people are all operating in war. They're battling against you. Any corporation that's built up on the United States soil, or even on the American free soil, the 50 states that are outside of the jurisdiction of the United States, because they only have control over 6 states. I know they make you think that they control all of them, but 50 states is free. Like, what's up with that? But yeah, that's a whole nother mental trick. But when it comes to it, right, it's telling you right here. By the performance or non-performance of their employees' duties. So they're not doing what they're supposed to do. That's what it's telling you. Let's get to this next document, because I'll just keep reading this one thing. This is important as well. Let's get to it. I'm going to start at section 1. Let me go up. Article 1 of the Missouri Constitution. Right? Section 1. Listen to this. Source of political power, origin, basis, and the aim of government. Right? It says, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys too. Let me copy it real quick. It says that all political power is vested in and derived from the people. Come on, y'all. Derived from who? Derived from the people. Check this out. Let me put this in the chat for y'all real quick. Let me, I want y'all to really get the seriousness of this. It ain't nothing pseudo about it. It's like real. It's real, y'all. Check this out. All political power is vested in and derived from the people. All political power is vested in and derived from the people. All government and all of the right that originates from the people. All government of all rights originates from the people and is founded upon their will only, and is constituted solely for the good of the whole. You mean to tell me the will? You need to have a will? Oh, yeah. With the estate planning, we set up your declaration of status, your declaration of value, your living will, and your trust to start your first trust that covers your umbrella of trust, to start your family trust, to have your corporation, so you have your government that's ruling your trust that governs over any political courtroom. Let's keep it moving. All political power is vested in and derived from the people, that all government of right originates from the people. It is founded upon their will only, and it is instituted solely for the good of the whole. Y'all might not even understand that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all get that. Section 2. Promotion of general welfare, natural rights, and persons' equality under the law and purpose of government. That all constitutional government is intended to promote the general welfare of the people. That all persons have a natural right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, damn, ain't they going against our pursuit of happiness? How many times in a day they go against our pursuit of happiness? Y'all know? Do y'all know? And the enjoyment of the gains of their own industry, because it's ours. This land is ours. That all persons are created equal and are entitled to equal rights and opportunity under the law. That to give security to these things is the principal office of government. The government's principal office is to give security to these things. Well, we just read that before in the Bill of Rights, right? So this is more confirmation. And that when government does not confer this security, it falls in its chief design, because that's all it was designed for. To operate for your security. That's all it was designed for. To operate for your security. That's its job. That's the job. And the enjoyment of the gains, so on and so forth, right? That's their job. That's their job. They have a job to take care of you, believe it or not. Okay? Section 3. Powers of the people over the internal affairs, constitution, and form of government. This gonna get real. Y'all listening? Y'all paying attention? Y'all still here? I think y'all still here. Let's go. I think y'all still here. that the people of the state have the inherent sole and exclusive right to regulate the internal government. Wait a minute. Hold on. What did it just say? Did y'all get that? Let me make sure I put this in the chat for y'all. I don't want y'all to miss nothing. Peace. What's up, Drop? I don't want y'all to miss nothing. That's his chief design. I don't want y'all to miss nothing. Pay attention, guys. Pay a freaking attention. Listen close to this one, right? What is the power of the people over the internal affairs? Let's check this out. The internal affairs, constitution, and the form of government. That the people of this state have the inherent soul and the exclusive. Do y'all know what exclusive means? The only right. They're the only ones that have the right. The exclusive right to regulate the internal government and police. To regulate the internal government and police thereof. And to alter and abolish their constitution and form of government whenever they may deem it necessary to their safety and happiness, provided such change be not repugnant to the Constitution of the United States. Do you guys comprehend this? Y'all get it? Is that more confirmation? Oh, I must have missed some chats. Let me go up real quick, check in with the chat. Oh, we about to get into some more, y'all. That we ain't done yet. Hold on. I got 35 more minutes here. I'm about to really confirm this. I don't want y'all to be, doubtful at all. I don't want y'all to be doubtful at all. Let's see. He who enlightens peace, brother. Peace and bliss. Yes, maladministration. The contract is immediately non and void. Come on, Israelite. Bro, come on. See, I know we got the realists in the chat. I know y'all over here with the divine frequency. A Freeman record in my ancestry dating to 1684 Pennsylvania. Come back, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Y'all already know. Get them up through if they are upholding their duties and found in violation of the people's rights, period. Who gonna hold them accountable? I was just explaining this to my sis last night. They have to be held accountable. If you're not doing what you need to do, if you're not operating the proficient way in the way you're supposed to, who's gonna hold them accountable? It says that we have the duty. That's our right. That's our duty to do this. This is our land. Who else gonna hold these people accountable but the people whose land it is? Y'all, come on. Come on, y'all. Who gonna hold them accountable? Yes, the yellow French flag, war. We read it in the document. It read in the World Court document. Damn, I might end up being a few minutes over because I definitely want to get to the document, guys. Definitely want to get to the document. Seen drop. I think I seen earlier. Peace and bliss to everybody that came through. I don't want to miss anyone. Yeah, fire them. Yes, the power of the people. Yes. Y'all got you. Let's go. We about to get into it. I'm going to hurry up and get through this. Because it's real out here. Peace, Kahi. Peace, my brother. Grandest to you. Police reform right there. Come on. It's right in your face. It's in the Constitution. Come on, guys. Like, when you going to stand in your shit? When y'all gonna stop thinking that this is some crazy nonsense and this paperwork keeping your behind in the blind? Y'all gonna stay mentally blocked. For real. If y'all ain't getting into it. It's so important. Independence of Missouri, submission of certain amendments to the Constitution of the United States. That Missouri is a free and independent state. We're talking about the Missouri state. Subject only to the Constitution of the United States. We're talking about all the states outside of the 6 states that are under United States. All 50 states this applies to. Check it out. Only to the Constitution of the United States. That all proposed amendments to the Constitution of the United States qualify or affecting the individual liberties of the people, or which is in any wise may impair the right of local self-government. How do you have self-government? Well, damn, you got to have a trust set up. You got to know how to operate that trust, right? Self-governments belonging to the people of this state should be submitted to the conventions of the people. Really? That's what it needs to be doing? If you submit it to the convention of the people, then it's aware and you put it on the public record because you have what to control yourself. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. It's real out here. It's real out here. That's right. That's why they never get remedy. They don't know what they doing, bro. I just be trying to help them, Kevin. I'm just a one mere being, with so much against me. But I'm like trying to make sure y'all got this. That's why I do this. That's exactly why I do this. Let's get into it. All right. We got more to go. I got 30 minutes. I might add an extra 10 in there. Definitely want to show y'all that World Court document before we get out of here. Listen to this. Religion and freedom, liberty and conscience and belief limitation. Check this out. That all men and women have a natural and indefeasible right to worship the Almighty God, according to the dictates of their own consciousness. Wait a minute. So you mean they don't have to be Christianized? It's on their own consciousness? The laws and the worship that their ancestors had, going by their ancestors' faith and customs and things of that nature. Is that what it's talking about? Yeah, I think that's what it's talking about. Yeah, let's go. That no human authority can control or intervene with the rights of conscience. That no human authority can control or intervene with the rights of conscience. That no person shall, on account of his or her religious persuasion or belief, be rendered ineligible to any public office or trust or profit in this state. That's an important statement. Check that out. They must be disqualified from testifying or serving as a juror or be molested in his or her person or estate. That to secure a citizen's right to acknowledgement of the Almighty God according to the dictates of his or her own consciousness, neither the state nor any of its political subdivisions shall establish any official religion, nor shall a citizen's right to pray or express his or her religious belief be infringed upon. That the state shall not coerce any person to participate in any prayer or other religious activity, but shall ensure that any person shall have the right to pray individually or corporately in a private or public setting, so as long as such prayer does not result in disturbances of the peace or disruption of the public meeting or assembly. That citizens, as well as elected officials and employees of the state of Missouri and its political subdivisions, shall have the right to pray on government premises and public property, so long as the such prayers abide within the same parameters placed upon any of the freedom of speech. Now, I'm going to bypass the rest of this, but I want y'all to understand what they're saying. Y'all remember when they had the so-called lockdown, when the COV came in, right? They had the lockdown. They said, oh, we closing all the churches. They didn't even have the right to do that legally. They had no right to do it legally. They have no right to do any of these things legally because legalities are not laws, right? Legalities are not laws, guys. Let me check on my chat real quick. I don't want to skip over anybody. Let's see. You are welcome, brother. Yes, definitely. I got you. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. Now, we're going to look at some general provisions in Title 11. I want you guys to have an understanding of how these people have no damn control and they keep doing things. Anybody that's going through anything when it comes to their children or custody or anything of that nature, you might want to use Title 11. Listen to this, guys. Very important. Title 11, general provisions. Definitions, Section 1101, when used in this act, right? The term state, except when used in Section 532, includes Alaska, Hawaii, and the District of Columbia, because that's the only thing that it has control over. The term the United States, when used in geographical sense, means the states Alaska, Hawaii, and the District of Columbia. Listen. The term person means an individual, a trust, or an estate, a partnership, or a corporation. You mean a trust is an individual, an estate, a partnership, or a corporation? All this is a person. Not only a corporation, but you mean to tell me if I have a trust, it stands as strong as a corporation? That's what you're telling me? Oh, that's what it's telling me. Listen. Okay, check this out. The term corporation includes associations, joint stock companies, and insurance companies. Oh, you mean like the joint stock companies that they have under all these corporations, and the insurance companies that they have to put the binding contracts on you for 75 years once you filled out that stock application for them? Yeah, that part. The term shareholder includes a member in an association, joint stock company, or insurance company. The term employee includes an officer of a corporation. Hold on. An employee means an officer of a corporation. You mean that you being an employee of your corporation, right? This made you what? What it made you? What did it make you? I just read it. It made you what? Anybody with me? It made you an officer of the corporation. The term employee includes an officer of the corporation, making you an officer as well, because once you've invested into that corporation, once you signed the stock in your W-9 over to that corporation, you are invested in that corporation. So, of course, you would be an officer of that corporation, having stake in the company. Y'all don't get it. Let's keep moving. The term includes and included when used is in defined, contained is, hold on, I'm trying to highlight and talk at the same time. Okay, the term includes and included when used in definition contained in the act shall not be deemed to exclude other things otherwise within the meaning of the term defined. Whenever under the acts of any acts of Congress or under the law of any state, an employer is required for permitted to deduct any amount from the remuneration of an employee and the pay of the amount deducted to the United States. That's why they have you fill them W-9s out to the United States or a state or any political division thereof, then any purpose of the act in the amount. So deducted shall be considered to have been paid. Any deductions are considered to have been paid to the employee at the time of such deduction. Well, wait a minute. Are you telling me they're taking out, when I see, oh, federal took out this, the state took out this, Social Security took out this, what's that new one they put in there some years back? Oasis took out this. Those deductions are assumed that I have been paid those deductions? Is that what you're telling me? It's assumed that I have been paid those deductions, but you never paid those deductions. They say they put them back into the state. They put them back into the feds. They put it back in Social Security to fund the Social Security fund, right? That's what they tell you. But they assume that you have been paid on it. Are you guys understanding the deceit? Are y'all paying attention? Let's keep it moving. Here's the important part, guys. I want you guys to listen to this part. Very important. If you're dealing with it, you do not want to miss this. You want to make sure you're taking notes for anyone just on this small sentence. If they're having issues with child custody, child protective service, DSS, blah, blah, get in here. Y'all pay attention to this. This is a real important one, right? This is a very important one. Let's get to it. Listen closely. I'm going to read it very intently for you. It says, nothing in this act shall be construed as authorizing, shall be construed as authorizing any federal, as authorizing any federal official, any federal agent, police, child protective service, child protective agent, or representative representing the government, child protective service, child protective agent, the court representing a trial for child protective services. These are all federal agents. They're federal officials, right? They're the servants, guys. You forgot already? Remember. Now, in carrying out any of the provisions in this act to take charge of any child, to take charge of any child over the objection of either of the parents of such child or of the person standing in local parentage to such child. Do y'all understand this? I want to know if y'all understand this. Did I put it in the chat? I want to know, put a 1 in the chat if y'all understand this. I want to know if y'all still with me. I don't know if y'all shifting, y'all fell asleep. Somebody answer me. Anybody, all I need is one person to know y'all with me. Y'all get this, right? Nothing in this act shall be construed as authorizing any federal office or agent or any federal representative, any federal agent, any federal officer in carrying out any provisions in the act to do what? To take charge of any child over the objection of the parent to any such child. Based off of the Constitution, Child Protective Service should not even be officiated. The agency itself should be shut down. When are we, the people, going to shut that shit down? Y'all tell me. When we gonna shut it down? Based off of their own rules and their own laws, they don't have no authority to have this agency to remove a child from any home, from any parent. They can't do it. No federal agency, no federal employee, no federal political person, no federal official. They cannot take your child from you. I know y'all was with me. I just wanted to make sure. Since I know you working, babe, just pay attention. Y'all hear this. They can't touch your child. The parent got to give them authority. Is they crazy? But they come and tell you got to go to court for your own child. We're taking your child from your home. Hold on. Is you crazy? Hold on. Let's look at these laws yet. Exactly, Kahi, because people don't know the law. They don't know how to go into... They don't know how to go to the court and let these people know the laws and show them, listen, you don't have a legal right to do this. You're going against the Constitution. This is going to persuade me to pursue a lawsuit against you. You, this fake ass organization, the federal agent, it's kidnapping. It says it's kidnapping. It's a charge. I'm going to bring charges against this agency. You can bring federal charges against them. If you don't know your rights, you have no right. That's right. You got to understand this, guys. I want to get to, I got to keep it moving, guys. I want to read more of that, but I ain't going to get into that because that's going to take too long. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to get into a couple of other things for you guys real quick. I think I read the, did we get into this? I'm going to make sure we did. No, we didn't. Okay, I'm going to get into this. More confirmation. Remember, I just went over the Missouri Constitution with you guys, right? I'm going to show you that this isn't just one place. I want to make sure I had two up. I knew it was something else I want to show you guys on this real quick. Let's show this. I want to show you that this isn't just one constitution. This isn't all the constitution. I told you guys that all of your states have their own individual constitution, and all of the laws apply and they coincide as far as to the freedom and the rights of the people. Now we're looking at Article 1 of the Tennessee Constitution. Y'all remember we just read the Missouri and what it told you about the rights. I'm gonna read this one again. Section 1. Here it goes. Section 1, that all power is inherent in the people and all free government are founded on their authority. On whose authority? The people's authority. On the people's authority. And instituted for peace, safety, and happiness, for the advancement of those ends they have at all times, an unalienable and indefeasible right to, after reform or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. What y'all think proper? Y'all think that CPS need to be abolished? Like, who ready to tackle that? Who with me? You guys know we'll be starting a private group next month, guys. I have a few people that have been inquiring. I'm so sorry, guys, we haven't been able to start it, but I've been doing these 4-week courses. They've been very intense, and there's a lot going on. Then I've had personal attacks. It's a spiritual battle and a spiritual warfare all the time. I will always be fighting these demons to cause chaos, confusion. So I need to make sure that I'm staying on task. So I want you guys to understand this, right? Section 2, the government is being instituted for the common benefit of the doctrine of non-resistance against arbitrary power and oppression is absurd, slavish, and destruction of the good and happiness of mankind. This is all for your benefit. Who's constituted these constitutions? Section 3. That all men have a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God according to the dictates of their own conscience, that no man can or right to be compelled to attend, erect, or support any place of worship, or to maintain any minister against his consciousness, that no human authority can, in any case whatsoever, control or interfere with the rights of consciousness, and that no preference shall ever be given by law to any religious establishment or mode of worship. They can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you how to worship. They can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you how to worship. Trying to get my paycheck from Cash App. Wait a minute. He said, I'm trying to get my paycheck from Cash App. Direct deposit to my Cash App account since November the 4th. Oh, Diamond, you need to reach out to me. Send get to my email. And let me put it in the chat. Yeah, reach out to me in my email, and I can assist you with that. If you've done the complaints and stuff, we can just go from there and see what's going on. You can register for a consult. I do have on my page. Let me put my Cash App. You can send a $50 Cash App and register for a consult if you like. No problem, definitely. All right, if you guys feel the need to donate. Exactly. That's right. Anybody in the chat? I don't want to get distracted with trying to answer this for him. That's why I talk to people individually. But if you guys want to give them some answers, go right ahead. Doing that 3949A, saying that they stole your instrument. The 3949A is in relations to $10,000 or more. So if the check was 10,000 Diamond, then yes, but you would only use the 3949A for $10,000 or more, brother. Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Y'all got that. Y'all seen that. Let's get on, because I want to hurry up and get out of here. I want to go ahead and get out of here. I got to go through another one, though, with you guys. Let's look at the Massachusetts Constitution. Now, mind you, if two constitutions are the same, it goes to any state. Even if your particular state constitution has something different, it has to go by the authority of more than two constitutions. So if I've shown you guys Missouri, Tennessee, now we're in the Massachusetts Constitution, it goes into the same information. Let's go. The preamble, right? The end of the institution, maintenance, and the administration of government is to secure the existence of the body politic, to protect it, and to furnish the individuals who compose it with the power of enjoying in safety and tranquility their natural rights and the blessings of life. And whenever these great subjects are not obtained, the people have a right to alter the government, right? And to take measures necessary for their safety and prosperity and happiness. When y'all gonna do that? I hear all these people that's been in the community for all this time. I'm doing this, I'm doing that shit. When y'all gonna do something about this? When are y'all gonna do anything? I keep trying to get my people to do the right thing, but they want to keep going against me. They want to keep going against me. And we ain't gonna get nothing accomplished. Because people don't know what they doing out here, but running their mouth. They just running their mouth. They don't know what they doing. They don't know the law. Most of the time, people are regurgitating law that they've heard from people. They don't even understand the depth of it. It's so sad. We have the blind leading the blind. This community is so full of the blind leading the blind. So full of it. It's so sad. All right, let's go. Y'all heard that, right? Did I put it in the chat? I think I put it in the chat. Yes. Okay, I want to make sure. Now, the body politic, I've talked to you guys about the body politic, Leviathan. I've got a whole video on that, going into the politics of things. The body politic is formed by a voluntary association of individuals. It is a social compact by which the whole people covenant with each citizen, and each citizen with the whole people, that all shall be governed by certain laws for the common good. All shall be governed with certain laws for the common good, for common law. It is the duty of the people, therefore, in framing a constitution of government, to provide for an equitable amount of mode of making laws, as well as for an imperishable interpretation and a faithful execution of them, that every man or woman may at all times find his security in them. Well, how can we have security in a government that is dehumanizing us? A government that is going against us, a government that is actually demising us, right? It didn't let that part go in. I wonder why. Because it said execution. Oh, that's probably why. Let me see. Faithful execution of them. Let me take the execution out. Let me just put O's because they don't want y'all to see that execution of them. All right. I think that's what it is. Execution. Yep. They didn't want the execution in there. Okay. All right. Let's go. Oh, we about to get into something else, guys. Let me get it, because I got a few more minutes. How much time I got? Can I do the Word document? I got 10 minutes. I can do a few minutes off before you guys. Hold on, let's get to it. I will bring this up to y'all, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Wait a minute. Do I want to do it? Let me see. If I could pull it up quick, guys. We got about 10, 15 minutes here. Let me see if I can, if it's on one of these documents. Dang, I need to do that. I'm going to have to go through my email to get it. Hold on. Let me close a couple of these windows because I don't have no space on this bar. And I can't go through all the windows to find it. So let me grab, close these out real quick. Then I can go and pull it up for you guys because I definitely want to go through. After going over this, I definitely need you guys to see this. Okay, hold on a second. All right. Let's look. Oh, let me see. Let me look at the world debt clock real quick. Hold on a second. Hold on. I want to show you guys something. I want to show y'all something real quick. Let me see. Is this the clock? Let me try to pull it up. No. Where is it? Let me just pull it up on this internet. I got to show y'all this real quick. They probably changed the pic, so I don't know if I'll be able to see it, but we're going to try. Before we get into this, I found the book, so we'll be able to get into it, guys. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all this picture, what they got in the secret windows. Let's see what's in the secret window today. Ooh, these people. Y'all think this shit a joke? Oh my gosh! Wait till y'all see this. Hold on, I gotta make it smaller so you guys can see it. Look what they got on the secret window for the debt clock today, guys. Look at this. Look at this. I got to get my picture because they changed it. It had a different picture. I would show y'all the pictures they've been showing, but oh man, I got to take my picture now before I forget because I missed a few of them. Hold on. This is the world. This is what's on the world clock right now, guys. This is on the world clock in the secret window. What did it say? Upgrade. The kingdom of God is within you. When they ever tell y'all that in the public? Y'all don't even know what the F going on around here. I'm telling you, man, I can't even explain this in depth right now. I ain't gonna even get to it. Let me close the windows quick so y'all can see. Hold on. I want y'all to see what y'all letting by. Why is this thing doing that? Acting real stupid. Okay, let me close the window. Check this out. This is all y'all money that's just being played around with. Y'all don't know that. They say it's a debt. Why is it a debt? It's considered a debt because you guys aren't operating sufficiently. Here's the debt right here. Look at the debt. Y'all see it? Look at the debt. The U.S. national debt. Outstanding represents the face amount of principal amount of marketable and non-marketable securities that are currently outstanding. Do y'all understand this? Do y'all understand this? Do y'all understand this? This is your debt. That's your free money sitting there. Might as well say it's money. Credits, current, that you're not using your administrative processes because you're so blinded to the government officials. You're not using your own mental governance. This y'all money right here. Debt per citizen, $100,000. What is debt, guys? What is debt? The debt per citizen equals the United States national debt divided by the number of citizens. This is all of your money that's waiting because you're not doing your administrative processes. The national debt, you see, it never stops. It keeps going up because people keep making purchases, but they're not doing the administrative process to turn around and get the proper credits associated to bring the debt down. Y'all don't get that shit. I don't even want to talk to y'all about it. I don't even want to get too much into that because y'all not going to understand it. Y'all ain't going to even understand it. Let's get out of this real quick. I'm going to get right to this. We finna get right to this. Because I done went over this with y'all before. And I want to make sure that y'all understand the depth of it. Wait a minute. All right. All right. I want to make sure small enough, big enough to read though. Okay. Here we go, guys. This will be the last document of the day, most important, pertinent, and showing you guys, you got to learn what to do, guys. Y'all got to learn how to be proper bookkeepers. You know, you're supposed to be operating your business, which is your family, your trust, but you know, you distracted, but hey, I don't know what to tell you. All right, let's go. I'm going to show you something in particular. Hold on. I could read the whole thing to y'all again because, I mean, y'all really don't be understanding it, but I wanted to read something particular to that, what we were talking about. Hold on. Damn, where is it? I thought it was on page 10. There it is, page 10. I thought it was 10. I didn't get there yet. Okay, I'm going to start up here, though. Listen to this, guys. Make sure you guys can see this. Anyone coming in the chat? Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Yes, all the gap principles, Kevin. Yes, they attach the gap principles on a separate authority of a finance charge. And those are your principles. And they turn around and steal it from you. And they have you have it down as abandoned property because they deceived you with the contract. That's why you have to understand contract law. Right, when the whole world got their hands in it, bro, they just walking around like, man, abandoned. Yes, it's all abandoned. That's right. Grandest, brother. That's right. When the whole world's walking around with their hands in your pockets, we are not balancing the books. This is why the clock keeps going up. Y'all do not want to operate proficiently because y'all want to think it's a game. Y'all want to think it's a joke. Y'all don't want to take the time to study. You gonna have it, brother. Definitely. Overstanding and understanding of all of this. That's right. Debt, yes. Discharge, debt equals cash. They don't know what debt is, bro. There's no such thing as debt. I'm about to get into that. Y'all think it's a game around here, but it ain't. I hope everybody enjoyed this program. It will be going under members only today. So please take notes. Turn on the ratchet shit. Yep. They love that ratchet stuff. They love the ratchetness. And I'm so glad I got them ratchet people away from me. It took a cleansing. Man, sometimes you be needing that cleansing. You hear me? All right, guys, let's go. Look at this guy. Listen closely. Actually, let me go up a little bit. I was going to start here, but I'm going to start here. Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution, right? Now, here go more Constitution work for you, right? 1 year later, in 1861, acts were revoked and replaced with the National Banking Act of 1863. It didn't start in 33. That was the last one that we're under now with the fiat. An act passed on April the 12th of 1866 that authorized the sale of bonds to retire currency called greenbacks, the sale of bonds. Who had the bonds? Who had the bonds? The people of the land had the damn bonds. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The people of the land had the bonds, y'all. The Independent Treasury Act of 1921 suspended the de jure Treasury Department of the United States government and turned it over to a private corporation called the Federal Reserve. De jure means by right of lawful establishment, but they didn't have a right to do this, not under the lawful establishment, maybe under their legalities, which are fraudulent, right? But not under the law, right? De jure, they said, right? Creating the Treasury Act to stifle the money from the people, right? To use their securities against them, right? Going to corporations so that they can actually exchange on the stock market, all of your securities, right? Listen to this. It has been established, in fact, that all that government does and provides legitimately is in pursuit of duty to provide protection to the private rights. You guys can look up Windhammer versus the people. Let me put that in the chat for you guys. This is a case study you guys can look up to have proof of this, and you can actually put this inside of a case. You have a court case, pull this up, print it out, put it in the case, and let the ass know you the people. Stop playing with you. Stop playing with you. Tell them, stop playing with you. Okay? All right. Which duty is a debt owed to its creator. The creator, who creates the debt? You create the debt. You create securities. You're the one that create the bill of exchange when you sign it with your authority of your social credit. Your social security card is your social credit card, your social credit. Listen, it says here that we the people, we the American people, which people? The American people. It says here that we the American people and the unenfranchised individual, we are an unenfranchised individual, right? Which debt and duty is never extinguished or discharged and is perpetual. No matter what the de facto government state provides for us in the manner of the convenience and safety of an unenfranchised individual owes nothing to the government. You can also look up Hale versus Hinkle, 201 U.S. 43. Let's put this in the chat for you guys as well. It's telling you right there. I don't know if y'all heard it. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I can repeat it. We, the American people, the unenfranchised individual, no matter what the de facto government or state provides for us in the matter of convenience and safety, the unenfranchised individual owes nothing to the government. Why is that? Let's find out why. Check this out. We, the people, have discharged any debt. We, the people, have discharged any debt. We, the people, have discharged any debt which may be said to exist or owed to the state government. The governments are presumably indebtedly continually to the people, because we, the people, the sovereigns, we, the people, the what? We, the people, the sovereigns, presumably assented to the 1878 creation of the government corporation, and because we suffer its continued existence, the continued debt owed to who? The continued debt owed to the people is discharged only as it continues not to violate our private rights. And when the government fails in its duty to provide protection and discharge their duty to the people, it is an abandonment, a delictual default of any and all power, authority, or vested of the sovereignty, which it may have otherwise possessed, and the law remains the same, the sovereignty reverting back to the people from whence it came. The sovereignty reverting back to the people from whence it came. Look up Downs versus Bidwell, 182 U.S. 244 of 1901. You guys look that up. You'll be able to verify that for your own self. Okay? I'm going to put it in the chat for you guys. Right? Make sure you guys look that case up. Downs versus Bidwell. You can discharge doing a 1099 A, B's, and C's. You got to be corrected in your status. So people make a mistake of just doing these things. Then down the line, you might get a. Y'all got to be careful out here what y'all doing. That's all I'm going to say. I hope you know when you're talking about these things exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Standing in your right self. Right? That's right. That I wonder, brother, don't just put stuff out there now. And you know, we got to clarify. People be doing these things and they don't know what's going on. We don't want our people in trouble. That's why I do private courses so people can get the true understanding. That's right. That's right. All right, let's go. Let's finish this. Got to get out of here in a second, guys. It is an accepted maxim of law that a contract is controlling until superseded by a new contract. A contract. You mean to tell me if I went to, let's use a car dealership, for example. If I created a new contract, that means they would have to go by that? Is that what that means? It sure does. Whereby the new contract becomes the controlling document, right? To overcome the United States contractual obligations to discharge the debt of the sovereign people for the use of our credit, in the original contract, right? The original Constitution. Congress embedded numerous secret equity contracts and presumibilities into their complex regulatory scheme for which they unlawfully hold the American people liable. They took it and they changed it up, as if you know what to do with it. They can't do shit because you know how to control that contract, right? You know how to control that contract. You got to know what to do. That's you. Listen, that's you. All you. You got the control. You got the authority. It told you. You have the authority to do what? Make all the changes. You have the authority to what? Apply a contract to something that you want to be a part of. You have to have agreements. If you're a person that's signing a contract, how can you just go along with what they're saying without reading it? Without saying, oh, I agree with all this. Oh, I don't agree with this. Oh, these are my stipulations, because I have my own stipulations, right? If a government comes down from their position of sovereignty and enters the domain of commerce, it submits itself to the same laws that govern individuals there. The United States does business on business terms. Once the United States waives its immunity and does business with the citizen, it does so as a party never cloaked with immunity. Look at the Clearfield document. They don't have immunity. In a complex regulatory scheme that is created by Congress, the United States voluntarily steps down from its position of sovereignty and enters the domain of commerce and submits itself to the laws of contract, absent any and all privileges and or immunities. For the contract to be valid, it must contain several elements. This is important for y'all to understand, right? This is what we're going to be going over in our class tomorrow as well, these contracts. This is going to get real deep. For a contract to be valid, it must contain several elements. There must be an offer. There must be an acceptance, and dual and equitable. Dual means on both sides. Dual and equitable consideration. You have the right to make sure that contract fits what's equitable for you. Absent any and all of these, the contract is void. It's void, right? It's ab initio. Any contract which is entered into without any full disclosure under the threat and or duress or under the false pretenses is null and void. It's ab initio. It has no force and effect. I hope you guys understand that. I just gave you the biggest gem you're going to get, which is why I wanted to read that to you guys. If you're not taking my class, I definitely want you to understand this. This is so important, right? All right? This is so important, right? For a contract to be valid, right, it must contain several elements: an offer, acceptance, and dual and equitable consideration. There must be equity on both sides, right? Absent any and all elements, the contract is void. It's ab initio. Any particular contract which is entered into without full disclosure under under threat and or duress or under false pretenses is non and void. It is ab initio and has no force and effect. So that means if I sign a contract for a vehicle, right, and seeing that you did not give me full disclosure, right? You didn't express to me the securities that were invested in here. You didn't express to me that I secured this vehicle on your consignment because all I did was give the security and the authorization for my bill of exchange to become a negotiable instrument because I applied my social credit, my blockchain of credit with my signature. And now you're able to trade that on the stock market. That seems like that would make that contract null and void, huh? Now that I know my rights, now that I know there's supposed to be free equity, there's supposed to be dual equity on both sides, but the equity is in your part. Yes, and you have the right to rescind. You do not want to rescind until you've taken care of everything and putting it under your trust, though. That's very important, right? I want you guys to see this because it's so pertinent to everything we're reading today. There's something else I want to read, you guys. It says parties to a contract have an obligation to operate in good faith with clean hands and with full disclosure. So that means you have to do what you're supposed to do when it comes to this contract. You have to have full disclosure and clean hands, right? So maybe going to them up front and letting them know, hey, I know what's going on. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get into that. That's something I'm saying for my class. Okay. I wanted to read something particular to you guys. Hold on. Where is it at? It might be up before that. Hold on a second. Okay, profiteering. This is what they're doing when they're making these contracts and trading your securities on the market. Profiteering, taking advantage of unusual or exceptional circumstances to make excessive profit. Didn't we just read in the Constitution, it said that they cannot do that for their own personal gain. It said that directly in the Constitution. So we know that that's against the laws of the land, right? Selling of scarce or essential goods at inflated prices during the time of emergency or war. They do that all the time, don't they? In general usage, a human being, a natural person, thought by statute term may include a firm, a labor organization, a partnership, associations, corporations, legal representatives, trustees in bankruptcy, or receivers. A receiver, the National Labor Relations Act, look at subsection 2.1. A corporation is a person without meaning of equal protection and due process provisions of the United States. V.K. Durham International Ltd. Holding Trust is the superior, duly constituted, outstanding sovereign creditor, the sovereign creditor since May 1st of 1875 of the United States of America and all debtor nations. This is a sovereign contract under seal that cannot be broken. Y'all know how important this is. Check this out. Bearing duly constituted contract rights to the bearer to the holder of the sovereign debt instruments of May 1st of 1875, sold in the city of New York, state of New York, USA. The contract stipulates that the law of the United States shall prevail, being the laws of the United States contained in the codified United States statute at large of 1875. No jurisdiction in the world has the authority to impede or interfere with contracts, specifically not within the United States nor any international recognized nation. The claim is based upon the Constitution representing the 50 states republics. Listen, this is where you're residing in, unless you're part of one of the United States. The 50 states republics are not the same as the United States. The 50 states republic is not the same as the United States. It's a municipal corporation. It's a municipal corporation. Let me put this in the chat for you guys. This is very pertinent, whether you understand it or not. It's a municipal corporation that is bankrupt and is a debtor to the people of the nation. That's right, of the first lien position cannot be denied for the lawful credit. They can never go back on our credit because it always belongs to us. It's always ours. It's always ours. It's always ours. They cannot, and they are bankrupt and a debtor to the people of the nation. A debtor to the people of the nation, right? A debtor to the people of the nation. Period. Yes, you can, Diamond. Just send. You have to send the donation to my Cash App. This class is a 4-week class. It is $500. Let me put it in there. You still have time to get in. I'm sending out the information this evening. If you need to reach out to me to set up some type of payment plan that's sufficient, we can definitely do that too. I do work with people if need be. Definitely reach out to me. You definitely want to reach out to me today on that. You do have my email. Okay. All right. All right. People with all that, my people charging for paper and information. Y'all think I got time to like now? I'm taking 3+ hours. I should have been out here 15 minutes ago, but I'm taking 3+ hours to make sure that I'm edifying people in their mind. If I'm taking my personal time over a 4-week time period, y'all don't think I deserve to be compensated for that? I'm so tired of people talking about people charging for information. I ain't charging for nothing. Information all over the place. Go find it yourself. Study it, research it, do the research, find the information, understand the information. You know what I'm saying? Do what you need to do for yourself. You ain't got to be over here. You don't even got to take a class. All you got to do is listen in. Listen to these bills. I got 700 lives up here with none but information. Listen to a bill. Get the info. It's up to you. It's just going to take you a little more time. You might not have all the clarity, but I'm giving you everything I can. Damn. Listen to this. Beneficiaries claim the rights of beneficiaries as designed by the V.K. Durham, whose claims have been previously made upon the Bank of International Settlements. We make no representations other than our belief that the claims of the V.K. Durham are true and must be considered by this court. We claim as injured parties, beneficiaries of the real property and interest, a class, a right to seek legal remedy against all parties for the constructive violations of our contract. The trust with the enumerated United States clarified as the corporate instrumentality and all actors, look at this, and all actors, I keep telling y'all they actors, guys, and all actors involved in the usurpation of powers, criminal acts of treason, espionage, crimes against humanity, slavery, piracy, etc., as a lawful duty under the misprision of felony statutes. We are the belief that the active and overt criminal conspiracies have been conducted by unscrupulous and nefarious parties, amounting to acts of international terrorism, espionage, and acts of war and genocide against the people of the world. We welcome the clarification and the discovery of these international criminals whose agencies appear to promote warfare and genocide. What they said. We know that's been happening, right? But we're not doing anything, right? We're not trying to abolish that, right? No one's looking to abolish these people from the things that they're doing. They're just sitting back, folding, their hands, intertwining their fingers, and, just letting it work. I appreciate you, sister, definitely. Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate it. Yes, brother. I had a cleansing, brother. I was so upset. Y'all know I get sensitive. Anybody that's over, y'all know I be emotional and sensitive. I was so hurt and like, what? Like, all these lies on me. People just downgrade me. I really appreciate those that are really here and have the truth and the light within them. You guys gravitate to it, Let's go. Let me put this down in the chat. I want y'all to have clear understanding. I make sure I'm doing this work for y'all. It cut out half of that, y'all. For some reason, it did not want it to put in the chat. Probably because it had genocide in it. But you guys see it. I'll read it again. We are of the belief that active and overt criminal conspiracies have been conducted by unscrupulous and nefarious parties, amounting to acts of international terrorism, espionage, and acts of war and genocide against the people of the world, not just America, of the world. We welcome classification and discovery of these international criminals whose agenda appear to promote warfare and genocide. As a class of living witness to events for the last 30 plus years, members, trustees, and beneficiaries of these designated trust accounts. I keep telling y'all they're the beneficiaries. We just read it earlier. We read in the Constitution that they're your servants. Y'all don't know how serious this is. This is so real. As a class of living witnesses to events for the last 30 plus years, members, trustees, and beneficiaries of these designated trust accounts, collectively designated here as the V.K. Durham Trust, have suffered and currently suffer from these international conspiracies. And in good faith, with clean hands, we desire full disclosure of the historically proven guilty parties, their current conspirators, many domestically and international. We respectfully demand for full justice be done. These claims must be examined in light of their international ramifications. We remind this court of the maximum of law. The justice that is delayed and justice denied. Justice in these instances have been denied long enough. Long enough. The volume of evidence is so great that it cannot be presented here in printed form to avoid the issues being sealed or hidden from the public forum. This is important. This is what I wanted to get to, and we're going to get out here after this next clarity for you guys. Okay? This part's going to get real, so I want y'all to listen very closely. I've been telling you guys this part for about 2 years now, right? I've been telling y'all that they're going to slowly bring out these criminals and act like, oh, this happened. Now say, oh, Puff Daddy. Oh, something happened with the TD Jakes. Oh, these perverts. Oh, yeah, I told y'all this was going to happen. I showed y'all the list. These people been on it. They already been through tribunals. They got these actors on this propagandist news media. Oh, man, I ain't going to get off topic. But, man, I'm so tired of them playing with my people. Thank you, Empress. I appreciate you, babe. Thank you so much. Y'all don't know how y'all words of encouragement and love keep me going, because sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me just stop wasting my time on this. But I know it's so many of y'all that are here for this truth. There's so many of you guys that are supportive. So because of that, I keep doing this. But, man, sometimes I'm just like, I don't even got time for this. Y'all know I get in my feelings. I'm like, shit, screw YouTube. But I don't want to say that about y'all, right? So let me make sure I keep my mind in order, keep my sensibilities together. I'm going to do some other things coming up in the next year. So it will be slightly different, guys, but I'm still going to make sure you're getting everything you need. I suggest you guys go to my Patreon in the next couple of weeks. Everything important will be dropped over there. And you must be at the highest tier, unfortunately. You'll be able to get videos and things on some of the lower tiers. But my top tier is only $50. Some people have like $199 tiers. My top tier is $50, guys. I'm not trying to break you, but I'm definitely wanting you guys to feed into the current that I want to provide for you there. I don't always have enough time. I haven't even been on Patreon like I usually have been because I've been so busy, kind of neglecting my responsibilities there, but I'm still putting the information out here. So my people are still getting it, and then I turn it on members only. So yeah, but I want to definitely make sure that I am focused on certain things that you won't be able to get on YouTube, unfortunately, guys. So when January comes in, if you're not under the members only, the highest tier, some of this information I will not be providing. So I hope you guys are taking good notes, like really. Listen to this, guys. We respectfully demand for full justice to be done. These claims must be examined in light of their international ramifications. We remind this court of the maxims of law. Justice delayed and justice denied. Justice in these incidents have been denied long enough. The value of the evidence is so great. Listen, guys, this is the part I've been telling you guys about for 2 years. Let me remind you. I've been telling you guys that over 5 years that these people have been through tribunals. I've showed you guys that they are actors and actresses. They have a theatrical production going on, the biggest nefarious theatrical propaganda scheme of the world they have going on right now. Having you people believe that they are still operating the government that's been closed now for 5 years now. The White House been chained up for 5 years now. The White House been sold over 4 years ago. Like literally, y'all, this shit is so real out here. They had to take their time because they know the people would go crazy if they really knew the truth. The people would be absurdly nuts if they knew the real truth. The stuff that I be telling y'all, the stuff I be showing y'all that people think is, not important, it's all going on in the world. These people have been tried through tribunals, and they're slowly bringing out information on charges. You see, y'all seeing all these different people being exposed, charges, exposed. This is part of what they're talking about right here. Pay attention. I'm going to read it one time, and I ain't going to keep explaining. The volume of evidence is so great that it cannot be presented here in this printed form. To avoid the issues being sealed or hidden from public forums, we have published many of the evidences and documents on the electronic media and websites. A lot of this information I bring to you guys all the time. I find this stuff that deep dive. I make sure I expose it to y'all. It might not seem real, but it's real. This master website for the trustees shall be enumerated here for the base of all allegations made herein. Many others will be created to ensure the world is not denied access to the truth. I dropped the link before, guys. They did change it. Unfortunately, I can't give you the new link. I'll try and give you guys the link again. It could be open today. Let me see. It's under PDF, but I'll try and drop it for you guys again. Where's the link at? Here's the link. You guys really need to try and see if you guys can pull the link up. Let me see. It's not letting me copy it. Why? Yep, it's saying it's not found. Damn, it's saying it's not found. Dang. Yeah, they blocked the link. They blocked the link, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show it to you, so I do apologize. It wasn't there before. I had a PDF, but I'm not sure. Where's that at this time? Hold on. I lost my place. Dang it. I want this show. I got to get out of here, guys. I got to go, y'all. I'm sorry. I really got to go. Yeah, peace, love, and bliss to everyone. I wanted to come here to do a little bit of exposure on the Mary Christ Mass. Right? The Mary Christ Mass. It's a mass. It's a mass, like a mask, mass, MASS. Mary Christ Mass, Mother Mary and Christ, the masking of Christ, the real Christos, the Christos that I keep telling y'all about. Man, y'all, I don't want to get too much into that because that's going into another spiritual teaching, but y'all guys get it. Anyone that's been following me, you guys are fully aware of what I'm speaking on. If not, go ahead and check my video out on the Metatronic H. Look at the one on good, the devil and evil. You guys will see that information is explained in there as well. I think there's a couple of other ones, but I can't think of them offhand, guys. There's so many videos on there. You just got to go through them, guys, and find what information is for you. Use a little bit of discernment, so on and so forth. I appreciate everyone that came through to tune into this light and truth and information. You guys are awesome. You guys are the way, the truth, and the light. Just know it. Peace, 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 brother. Peace. You guys are everything that is meant to be ignited in this particular time. Your frequency that tunes you into this truth. You are on the right path, right? Don't let anyone deter you. Don't let anyone in their thoughts and things that they say derive you from what's meant for you, right? Keeping yourself in the light of truth. And yeah, period, that part. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace, love, and bliss to everyone. Till later. Peace.